Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to Zoobox Live for February 2nd, 2021. This is our show. Usually we spend our time talking about the recent happenings in the world and whatnot. And,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, I hope, Dan, that you have at least 45 minutes. Because in the Midtown Mansion, I don't have fucking rules, okay? Unlike you, I don't have fucking rules, and it's great.
Oh, we're all fucked up.
What do you mean?
The live stream, the video is like all zoomed in.
No, it's not. Not on mine.
It's not on yours? Okay, that's just
No.
in my window. I don't know why it is like that on my window, but it is.
Yeah, I mean, it looks fine on my. I'm on the phone, so it looks good. But yeah. So fucking what a good day to be a Midtown.
Nobody
dude,
telling you to take bread out?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I was sitting here, man. I'm like, I just wander, my house, my big empty mansion, but it is what it is, dude. So, are we gonna get right into it? Do you want to do something cold? What do you want to do?
I mean, I figured we could just get into it. I mean, you want to talk about the harrowing events of January 6th for one?
Dude, like, well,
AOC.
So like Alexander Ocasio-Cortez, Smollett, whatever his fucking name is. Everyone's been shitting on her, and it's pretty bad, honestly. It doesn't look good because there were no Capitol. Like, I tried to look. I'm like, what parts of the building were sieged or whatever? Like, I tried to figure it out because I know if you bring up the picture, you can bring it up of one of the ones I sent you. Like, I think the one I sent you was pretty good. Jax Pizovic posted it.
Oh, that one? Yeah, I'll bring it
up. What did he say? Oh, wise Latina. God bless him.
Well, we got first, before we do that though, we got this is actually from the scene, from security footage. This is what happened to her. She was assaulted.
I mean, I kind of got famous tweeted today. It's the first time that's really ever happened. And he followed me. If you don't know who he is, that Don't Walk Run Productions. He's on YouTube as well. He's hilarious. He's a conservative, I would say libertarian conservative comedian YouTube guy. He shits on the liberals a lot, like Democrats, but it's pretty good quality stuff, and it's fun. I've been watching his stuff probably for a couple of years, so it was a little of a moment. I was sitting there, I was like, oh my God, I really hope he doesn't, because I did not make that. Just full disclosure, I did not make that meme. I just saw it, downloaded it, and I saw Luke Rodowski, whatever, the dude that's on Timcast a lot, and he posted the picture I sent you. That is the thumbnail for this video, and I just posted it. Didn't say anything, just posted the picture. And
yeah, I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna do this one first because I think it's just a little bit more illustrative, just a little bit more clear in terms of what you're looking at.
Yeah.
But so basically, AOC was not in the building, even though she's made claims that her life was in danger, and didn't she even say that she could hear people looking for her or something?
Well, it ended up being the police. That's what so it's been super weird. The most of the things that she's talked about, so from her first iteration of the story to the third or fourth one, which one is the most popular video on her Instagram live.
Yeah.
Small things have changed,
she's embellished details.
Yeah, well, things have definitely got a little bit more. She David Hogg the situation, basically. David Hogg is one of the Parkland survivors, and I don't know how verified or true it is, but supposedly he wasn't even on campus when it happened. Supposedly.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's no verify. I don't know if that's true.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's true. I mean,
but as you can see in the picture, I mean, dude, she's probably what? I don't know, a half mile at least. I don't know how.
Oh, it's a massive area. It's not.
Well, I know it's not that big.
But because one of the comebacks she had about you weren't in the building because she just omitted details that kind of change the context and change kind of how a person might feel about it. When they
she took the vulnerability of people don't know how the Capitol works.
Yes, and well, I mean, which could be on purpose, it could not be on purpose, but say if you did get caught doing that, you should probably just be oh, my mistake, and then it's over. and then it's over. You just be like, oh, yeah, I didn't realize that. You could just say that, whether you knew that or not, to diffuse the situation. But instead, she's decided to double down, and then she's like, well, but there was pipe bombs at the RNC and DNC,
yeah,
which you can see in the map. You can see on the map here. This is the RNC. This is DNC. This is where she was at the beginning. This is where she was moved to. So it's not even in the vicinity of those either.
Well, I mean,
so.
I think in a slight defense, you could argue, hearing the Capitol's being attacked, and you go in, the building she was in went on lockdown.
Sure, of
and
course.
You start hearing people screaming, "Where is she?" or whatever.
I'm not going to suggest that there's the potential to be afraid. What she did that was very pernicious, though, is that she connected it to an alleged sexual assault that she had had in the past, to use it as a cudgel to deflect criticism. Because she's like, you guys don't know how people internalize trauma. You don't know what that means. So if you think I'm lying here, then you must also think I'm lying about the sexual assault. Like, that's like the subtext of how she decided to approach this after the fact. But
well, she brought up the sexual assault in the initial video. So in this video,
I know that. No, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying, she's using it as a way to deflect criticism. Right.
Well, this disgusting. This whole video. I didn't watch all the hour and a half. It's a lot of race baiting kind of garbage. But it's. Well,
she's literally making claims that like she thought the officers maybe were involved in a conspiracy to get her found out. Prophet says, I am also a survivor of the Capitol raid, and for that matter, the Vietnam War and the Holocaust. I didn't die in the Holocaust, therefore I am a Holocaust survivor. Face facts.
People been blasting her, like photoshopping her into like Normandy Beach, like D-Day, and like shit. Like it's pretty good. And then Twitter removed just recently in like the last half hour. They removed the trending.
Oh yeah, it was because
like 183,000.
You had sent me those pictures to use for a thumbnail, and the formatting was wrong. I couldn't use it with the software I usually use to make the thumbnails, and so I was like, oh, I'll just Google search it. Nope.
Yeah, no.
That shit does not come up. None of them do, and they're all over Twitter. You can go on Twitter and type in AOC, and it'll probably show up in like latest topics or latest comments or whatever.
It's fucking hilarious. People really, Jack Posobiec was the guy that kind of like brought it to Twitter's attention. Well, she is not anywhere. At least the formula, like the first one I ever really saw, and that's where I saw it start trending. And everyone's calling her like basically Smollett, whatever his fucking name is.
Jussie Smollett. His name is Juicy Smollett. Jussie Smollett.
Yeah, whatever. I think it is something weird.
Well, it's weird, and then the people that are criticizing her just get attacked for being either they're racist, they're sexist, they're trauma deniers, they're all these things like Michael Tracy.
Michael Tracy.
He was included in articles. Like there's like 50 articles that were written yesterday, and they named him as like
dead. So
no, I know, but what I'm saying is, they're trying to make her into like the sacred cow. Like you can't discuss what a very powerful politician is saying. You cannot like question the veracity of what a fucking she has. Now that Trump is off of Twitter, she has the biggest social media presence, the most power in wielding her social media presence.
Yeah,
and this is an extension of that. And then she goes to do these Instagram videos that are probably very effective to a certain generation of person, of like younger people, because that's how they interface with information. That's how they interface with the world. So she's made herself like an Insta star, like a YouTuber. And it's smart. Yeah. It's smart. She has a Twitch channel. Now she does Twitch live streams. She's not just doing games anymore. Now she will do regular live streams, interviewing people and
talks politics and this and that. It's like, what the fuck do you do? And this is the problem with all politicians now, or I don't know if it's at least recently, get that 30-second gotcha moment or 5-minute speech and it goes viral, and that's kind of their claim to fame. Like Jim Jordan really blew up during the first impeachment, and not to mention just this current impeachment is just throwing all like decorum out the window. Like there is no like procedure.
Yeah, because it's just a virtue signaling thing. It really doesn't have any. I don't think it has very much standing and this is something so they can keep that specter alive for another year.
Well, I mean, impeachment is a political process. It's absolutely political.
No, I know.
I don't even know if it means like Trump would not go to jail.
No.
I don't think.
They're trying to make it so he can't run for office again. I guess that would be the only goal if he were to be charitable. But it also allows them to just constantly talk about Trump, even though he's not a factor. And he's like, however you feel about Trump, anybody out there, like, listen, his political career right now is fucking cold as Haagen-Dazs, to quote Wesley Snipes from Demolition Man. Like, right now it is. Maybe that'll be different in a year, 6 months from now, but right now he is persona non grata. And they have to find a way to keep the boogeyman alive. Because there's no like obvious alternative. Now you could say this, what's her name? Taylor Greene?
Oh, Majorie or whatever.
Yeah, Taylor Greene. They're trying to turn her into a symbolism of what the GOP is, and also as basically a victim of Trumpism and that perspective.
Well, they're going after Lauren Boebert next, right after her, guaranteed. And I mean, it's like
which they're kind of like.
Listen,
they're the anti-squad. They're the anti-squad. They're like the squad on the other side of the prism or whatever.
They are, but the thing is, Ilhan Omar or Rashida Tlaib, which Rashida Tlaib is not completely on my shit list recently, just because she has been speaking on things that I found important, like not over securitizing America or like creating a police state for domestic terrorists.
Yeah, not doing Patriot Act 2.0. Yeah.
Well, 3.0 now, because they've already done 3.0. But there's enough with Lauren Boebert and MTG, whatever her name is. They're just gonna go after them to be, for what reason? I think, like you said, to keep the political theater up, because they've already started campaigning for 2022, the Democrats. It's too close. So they're using these as cudgels for their message.
Well, they also see that people are a little savvier than maybe they were 4 years ago, 8 years ago, in terms of paying attention to political promise. So when Biden comes in, and it's only his first month as president, he's been like a giant disappointment to a lot of people. I mean, you could say like people use this as a as the lightning rod thing is the $1,400 checks, right? It's the checks. That's what people. I'm not saying this is like a good example, but hey, good night, Prophet.
Night, man.
But I'm not saying it's like the best example or anything like that, because there's way more pertinent examples. But this is the one that's caught fire, the zeitgeist, the populist movements, whether you're kind of right-leaning or left-leaning. They made this promise, and they keep downgrading it as the weeks go on. They're like, well, maybe we won't do that. Oh, and now maybe we're going to go to $1,000, and now maybe we're going to cap it at a lower income, and blah blah blah.
The truth is, this should not be for every American, and I include myself in that.
I'm not talking about the reality. I'm talking about what was promised and why people voted.
Well, I mean, it's like, okay, well.
So what I'm saying is,
when Trump had to use the Texas overflow facility, it was called Kids in Cages. AOC out there crying in a white dress or white pantsuit, whatever.
Pictures too,
And then all of a sudden, they have to open the same exact facility because of the influx, because of the promises made by Biden and his administration.
Yes.
They are just like, okay, cool. We're just going to put them in the same exact fucking place.
No, exactly. They literally are doing the same thing. They're just calling it a different name. No, they're not calling it cages. They're calling it overflow. Like they're just not calling it cages. They're not, they're just not coming from that perspective.
What up, squibbles? It's okay when they do. And that's the thing is, the media is fucking dying. Like they're dying. They're hurting without Trump. Fox, everybody. The only person who's gained more viewers than Fox is Tucker Carlson. He's the only guy that's been seeing growth. Hannity, who was a Trump ass kisser, constantly, and Tucker called out Trump when he felt it was necessary. But a lot of like Fox, and they're so plastic. Everything's so fake, and I think people are done with it. I think people are over it. I just don't see how. And so they have to keep it spicy. They have to keep the content. Instead of calling it a riot, they're going to call it an insurrection, when it was really a riot.
Yeah, because that was the talking point from the first day, and then you have everybody calling it the big lie, trying to invoke like Nazism. It's the big lie. Like if you didn't believe in the integrity of our elections, if you questioned it at all, then you're contributing to the new big lie, and it's supposed to invoke this really dark.
Like Jake Tapper.
Oh yeah, I think he might have started it. I'm not sure if he did or not, but that was like day 2. It was like day fucking 2.
It's going, and then what's the first thing they fucking do? They bring race into it. That's like the first thing they do. Oh, well, if these were Black Lives Matter protesters, they would all have been shot, or this would have been handled extremely differently. Even though a white woman did get shot that day. She did get shot.
Yeah, Biden called the Capitol Police racist the day after it happened.
I know. Oh, my God, dude.
And now they're burying that guy. Now they're burying the officer that died. And now they're burying him in the Capitol.
Well, and like do you know he didn't die? He died the next day from a
heart attack, right? Cardiac
heart
arrest?
attack.
Yeah.
Some sort of blood clot is what led to his death. Obviously, due to the events that happened on January 6th. It's a tragedy. Guy went to work, did his job. They were under supported, constant requests for more personnel, and they got left out with their ass in the wind. It sucks, and it's a bad fucking
and
day.
Then their government threw them under the bus optically the next day.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely. But it's fucking one of those things where you look at it and you go, he deserves to be recognized. I think I have no problem with him. It is a little bit of political theater. But
I'm not saying that whether he does or doesn't in reality. All I'm saying is like there's deep layers of irony going on in what this is trying to invoke. Squibble says, I honestly have been paying attention to politics for the past 2 weeks. I hate what the media has become and what they've done to my mental health.
Dude,
you're not wrong, buddy, and that's why we talk a lot less about it now because I think everybody needed a break. Paul says, "Yo, bring back the fuck doll or no more likes and subscribes." The fuck doll, yeah. I don't know his fucking Instagram.
But I think it's the media has used identity politics to make people feel that way and to make people feel lost. And I think this is really what the big downturn at the election, why their ratings, I think it's called the post-election slump is usually what they call it, because everyone's kind of wore out.
Yeah, everything dies down.
They're kind of, but it hasn't. And they won't allow it. And Trump has a little bit to blame for this. No lie, no doubt. Yeah, it takes a lot of the blame. But now that Trump is officially gone, it's over. What are they doing? And the problem is that they're talking like fucking Susan Rice, this fucking lady, is up there talking about racial equity and how we need to disseminate the virus with like racial equity and all these like bullshit that has nothing to do with reality. And how the board of educate or the Secretary of Education guy was asked by like Rand Paul, like, what are you going to do about transgender athletes, competing against, because it's never going to be an issue when a male to female transgender athlete goes and competes in male sports. It just won't be as big of an issue.
You mean a female?
As far as
a female to
male. Yeah, female to male. It's never going to be an issue as far as competition goes for the top probably 50%. I'm sure she could probably be better, or he or whatever. But now the question is, do you really think biological males that decide to transition to female, whatever, do what you want, but they're also fucking children, and let me rephrase that. They are children still.
Well, the thing is, a lot of this has nothing to do with actually transitioning. It's just about identification. So if you just say, "Well, I'm a trans female as a athlete," there is no onus on you to actually do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's. The thing is, can you force hormone therapy on someone for what they believe they are?
No.
And this is where it's gotten. This is what Jordan Peterson was talking about forever. He's like, once you start playing these fucking games,
no, but here's the thing.
It confuses everything. It makes everything too confusing.
It's the kind of thing where you start finding like parody with like, some sects of like the feminist movement, because you're like, oh, this is like in a weird way, this is a way for men who have problems to push their way into female spaces.
Well, that's the TERFs.
yes, the trans exclusionary radical feminists. That's what
those are the ones.
Well, that's what they've been called. That's what they've been called.
Right.
That's the slang.
Well,
But it's just like it's not, because none of those people think like you can't do it or you're not allowed to do this, but they do want to protect like this idea of what it means to be a woman. Like this should be like a thing that we recognize and uphold. Like women need different things than men. Women have different vulnerabilities than men. Like, so when you're trying to just flatten the field out, where you're trying to say that, well, these things don't matter anymore, then what the fuck was the past like 100 years of work in feminist circles or whatever, you know? Yeah. So it denies. I mean, they'll say like a person who menstruates was the thing that like didn't just show up 1 or 2 times. It showed up a bunch of times in different articles trying to normalize the phrase. I mean, what the fuck is that? Like, what? Imagine like you're not allowed to say you're a woman. Like you're not allowed to be identified as women. Well, because some trans men, well, they menstruate, so we can't say it's just women. Like, men don't have to deal with this shit. This is not like a hill that men are ever gonna have to die on, because and it's weird. It's a weird thing when you start thinking of it in this kind of more meta sense of what it actually means, like what it's actually doing and what's actually being erased. You're erasing the idea of the feminine, of like a woman in her natural state, or whatever you want to call it.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is like, you know, you go back to the same thing with like homosexuals. They were saying the same exact type of shit. You know, like I was sitting there, you know, okay, I have an argument for you. So this is what I heard. This is what I heard Rand Paul say.
Okay.
Rand Paul said, how are you going to like protect natural born female athletes who are going to be beaten by transgender females, and be able to take scholarships because they're going to be better. They're going to be superior. They're going to lose scholarships. They're going to lose all this stuff, you know? A lot of those same arguments were made for...
Well, here, you want to just watch the video?
Sure.
We just watch it, see what he says. Because I don't think it's the same thing as the gay is like what people were saying about gay stuff. Yeah, granted, there's tons of fear mongering and people use things and would say stuff like that, but this is different because being gay.
But it's the same thing they said about black people.
Yeah, but being gay is not denying like the existence of something. It's not saying like now you can no longer be now straight men don't exist now. Like that's not what the argument is.
Well, I'm saying the same like type of natural arguments. Like, what is a natural woman? What is a natural male or man? You know.
Well, because they point to outliers. They point to things that are not the norm or whatever. You know, and then people hear that and they freak out and they say, "Oh, well, that's like that's exclusionary." But it's like saying something is normal is not to suggest that other things are bad. It's just like it is the median. It is what most people experience in life. And you can't take the exception and then try to disprove the rule. It's a silly like position to take, in my opinion.
I'm with you.
I'm not a biologist either. I'm not a doctor. Like this is just my own personal opinion.
I don't think you need to be and that's the thing. We need to stop looking towards academia because most of them are fucking wrong. Most of them are. I mean, like who created eugenics? Harvard. They were the ones who designed the idea and the basis of eugenics and spread that ideological perspective throughout the world.
Sure.
And it was all based off of you can pass hereditary, you know, your crime. Like if you're a rapist or a pedophile, you can if you have a sister.
You're bad genes. Bad genes.
Yeah, bad people pass on bad genes.
It actually starts
create more bad people.
It starts. That was a rationalization after the fact, but it actually starts with environmentalism and population control. And they just said to drive it home to the public, being like, look at these bad people. Don't you hate crime? Don't you hate when bad things happen? Don't you hate stupid people? Squibble says, gatekeeping is a valid strategy. Take ownership of your identity and don't let people take it from you. He also says, I've been with my share of dudes, but the idea of a community in 2021 is stupid. There's so little to fight anymore. It's a sociology issue now. Identity politics and such.
Well, I think it's that acceleration because of mainstream media. Like these ideas have always been there, you know, with like the environmentalists or people who would say population control. Like there's too many people on this planet and it's going to affect the earth. So we need to lower lower our population, which is one of the main proponents of like abortion, as far as, you know, the elimination of not just race that people didn't like, but actions that people took. You know, if a person took an action that the state disagreed with, it was good enough of a reason to.
Yeah, they always make like this emotional appeal, and they couch their shit in this evil thing, and then they appeal to people that are not the common man. They're appealing to people of a certain class and being like, "This is for the betterment of the species. This is for humanity." You know.
I think the argument is still there, where I don't want a baby being born poor.
I know. That's what
I don't want
saying.
To, you know.
It's always couched in emotional language.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with like a principle or like of a shared objective reality. No, it's the denial. You just gaslight people. Just get gaslit constantly over all of these kind of topics.
But the thing is, like the what people are saying against transgender athletes or transgender this and that is a lot of the same arguments that were made against homosexuals. I think it wasn't until the 90s that homosexuality was deemed. It was finally taken out of the MSDM or whatever it is, the mental
health book,
the psychological disorder book. It was no longer a mental disorder, and
see, can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you mean by these are the same arguments used against trans athletes? Because the trans athlete thing is it's like obvious advantages that people will suffer from. So that means like girls being affected, being able to get scholarships for playing lacrosse and stuff.
Well, that was the same arguments why not to let blacks play, too. Eventually.
And look what happened, Dan. Now black people own sports.
They do.
Just joking.
No,
but like I understand that, and I can understand that, but I don't think it's
okay. But I have a question.
Same.
Okay, I have a question.
But
theoretically.
Sure.
Theoretically. If a person identifies as a female and they rise to, being the top in their field, who cares? Maybe everyone's making too big of a deal about it. Maybe that's the issue, is that it's such a big deal. If a transgender
natural born women will lose out on opportunities that men will never lose out on.
Yes. That's
in
true.
the same paradigm, they will lose out. They will not get scholarships. They will not get opportunities. They will not get because they will not place.
No, but Sean, I think what I'm saying is it's a college is going to take a transgender athlete over even in a male-dominated field. Like football. We had the woman that played for I can't remember, but she kicked like she was a kicker.
Sure.
And it was like the worst kick you've ever seen.
Yeah.
It went like 15 yards or something.
Exactly. It's not a threat to any man there trying to make a name for himself.
No, but it's making a mockery of the sport, and it's making a mockery. But like you're saying, who cares? Well, at the end of the day, you don't need to go to college.
Yeah, but come on now. No, you don't want it. Like it's like
because under Title IX, the reason why women's sports have to be funded just as much as male sports.
I know.
Because women's sports were underfunded for a long time. So because no one gave a shit, and probably still don't give a shit, because who cares?
So what are you saying, now they're going to care because men play women's sports?
Y'all make it more exciting, at least.
Well, that's true. That's true. I mean, man, I'd love to see some fucking giant beefcake women out there playing lacrosse. That would be intense.
Well, I mean, like, I think Squibble says it right. He's like, I've heard women athletes talk about this before, and they don't seem to want to compete in the same league. It erases everything women have done. And, like, I agree. I completely agree.
It does.
But the thing is, so you take such a minute. So should you be able to deny a transgender person, like, the right from competing?
No, you can make parallel leagues. You can do all sorts of things.
No, but there's not enough of them, Sean. You're talking like ones, twosies in the world. Like, we're not talking like a lot. We're probably talking, let's say, in the entire United States, there's, just because of the popularity of transgenderism, let's say there's 20,000 spread out over 50 states. I don't know. That seems high to me, but let's just highball 20,000.
Sure.
Let's say it's 20,000.
Make them all play sports.
I mean, but it's just, what are you going to tell a person that's 17 that believes, or that is transgender, that you can't compete in a sport.
And what are you gonna tell
right?
What are you gonna tell the 17-year-old girl that has to run against him in a meet, and she can't even place because he's there?
Listen, I get it, but the thing is, train harder.
That's not
Be better.
Biologically, that's just ain't gonna cut the mustard, dude.
That's what a loser would say. No.
I mean, what do you give people like some sort of competitive advantage, and then you can't do that because that's discriminatory.
Well, I mean, you can't even take steroids. Well, there was this.
No, what I'm saying is like
Olympian
that, it would be considered
woman that wasn't allowed.
It would just be like if like trans women and then natural born girls, like they play the same sports. If you allow the natural born girls to do something that would give them a competitive edge, they wouldn't let you do that either because that's discriminatory, and it points out the fact that there is a difference there.
Well, I think the main argument should be this. You shouldn't be. High school should not do it.
No,
I don't think. I think you should be born. Whatever your hereditary, your genes, whatever you're born as, you play that until you get to college level. But once you hit college level, you have to be on hormones for a minimum of 3 to 4 years or something.
Sure, there's standards that can be met.
Your muscular structure and I mean, you probably do lose muscle mass. You probably do lose bone density, but it probably takes decades for that to happen. I don't know enough about it. But he goes, well, what do we do with trans athletes then? That's what Squibbles asked. What do we do?
Let's see what the Rand Paul and the Secretary of Education.
And he's a doctor.
Rand Paul's a doctor, isn't he? An orthopedic surgeon? Is that what he is?
No, I think he's not an OBGYN, or his dad was.
No, his dad was.
Delivered thousands of babies.
All right, let's check it out. We'll see what they have to say. Here we go. Squibbles says, I feel like Dan has a good start to the conversation. I like it.
Civil rights sent a letter to Connecticut saying that boys can't compete with girls in sports, or
so
they
what's
shouldn't be
happening
forced
here?
to allow boys to compete in girls' sports. If you're confirmed, will you enforce that Office of Civil Rights opinion?
Hello, Senator. Thank you for the question. I understand that there are a lot of concerns about that. If confirmed, it's my responsibility and my privilege to make sure that we're following our civil rights of all students.
I'll tell you right now, this is all he says
and
the entire time.
That includes activities that they may engage in high school or in athletics.
What do you think in general about boys running in girls' track meets like they've been doing in Connecticut?
I think that it's critically important that education systems and educators respect the rights of all students, including students who are transgender, and that they are afforded the opportunities that every other student has to.
Literally, he's going to say it's the same thing every time, Sean. Just like,
bother you that like the top 20% of boys running in track meets beat all of the girls in the state, and that it, would be, completely destroy girls' athletics? The girls are being pushed out. If they don't make the finals in the state meet, they don't get college scholarships, that it's really detrimental to girls' sports. Do you worry about having boys running girls' track meets?
I recognize and appreciate the concerns and the frustrations that are expressed. As Commissioner of Education.
Yeah, sorry, the audio is stuck there, but okay. So he's going to say the same, could make this kind of the same argument over and over again, not actually going to answer the question with any substance. The video was really low, though. There wasn't anything. I cranked it up as loud as I could on both my program and on the computer, so I'm sorry.
Yeah. So you might want to turn it down, though, for the next one.
I did. I already did it. I already fixed it.
That was, it was kind of pointless, that whole, because that's literally what the guy says. And at the end of the day, it is his responsibility to ensure all students have access to the same rights. And it's like, should you be able to deny access to a transgender athlete from the sport that they want to partake in based off of what? Based off of their now preferred gender, their choice, or whatever you want to call it. And it's something that we have to deal with in reality. It's like, it's real. Like, so this is the reality that we live in, and these kids, it's fucking tough. That's a tough legal argument. Like, legally, why should you deny a transgender person from the right of partaking in an activity?
I don't know. I mean, there has to be some kind of like appeal to fairness here.
Well, I agree. No, like, listen, I'm not saying that it's fair.
You're
but
literally
it's also-
stealing. Their position is to.
Okay.
It will steal
I ask a
opportunities
question?
from a generation of young girls.
So, do you think that hermaphrodites should not be able to maybe have like a higher testosterone level?
Or I guess
Should not be able
isn't
to
this?
compete.
Well, this is the kind of the conversation they've been having, in terms of what I understand is that, like, yes, you got to measure testosterone levels. Maybe that's the way we flatten this out in some respect, or.
Well, the thing is this though. There was a woman, I can't remember her name, African American woman, I believe. It's either she was professional, college,
College, I think. Yeah, I know who you're
it
talking
was
about.
college or professional. She had naturally high testosterone levels.
Okay.
And she was not allowed to compete.
Sure. That's,
She was, or she was forced to take estrogen to lower or
yeah,
something to
that was
lower those
wasn't that, I think
levels.
that was the Olympics.
It was something like it was
Yeah,
because
because they had a commission and they had to like go through a process. I think that is probably wrong, because that's just the luck of the roll of the dice there. But that's a naturally
no,
born
hold
woman.
on, but you gotta understand the ideological difference.
Some
okay?
people are better than others, like in a
no,
gender.
I
I mean,
agree.
like, what are you talking about?
Well, the
I can't play
ideolo-
basketball as well as somebody. That doesn't mean I should be like, yo, dude, you're taller than me, and I feel fucking threatened. I don't feel
Well,
good
that's-
about this.
The ideological difference when it comes to the transgender issue is very simply that they do view it as a natural state of being.
I know that.
So, like, you can't deny someone's. It's not even feelings, I guess. I don't want to say feelings. I don't want, if I had a daughter, to have to compete against a transgender athlete. I think that would be unfair. What it comes down to is like, so should that woman who was born with an advantage, a natural advantage that made her superior to her peers?
Mm-hmm.
So if you, the lens, if you put the lens of the current ideological perspective of the liberal, is that is the same thing. It is the same exact thing.
That's fucking insane. Let me ask you a question. Do you feel oppressed because you're not as good at football as somebody else?
Well, kind of.
Men don't have to deal with
Tom
this shit.
Brady
No,
oppresses
this is what I'm saying.
everybody.
This is what I'm saying up front, dude.
No.
Men do not have to deal with this shit. They
Okay,
do
so
not
you
deal
think
with it.
women do you think women should have to fight in combat? Like,
Do I think-
should women have to?
That's a choice. That's a choice.
It is a choice, but guess what? It's a detriment to the team. Every single time I've had to, and this is not
Oh my god.
true
Here
with
we
every
go.
woman.
I'm just joking.
Well, it's not true with every woman I've ever worked with, but for I have worked with some awesome women that were better than most of the women. Maybe not in like a physical way, 100% of the time. But I've met
Mentality,
some,
responsibility. Yeah.
right, like super well put together people, and I looked up to them. I respected them. But even physically, I've met a couple. I've met some. One's a man now, and that's a true story. And very big misconception about Trump. He did not ban transgender people necessarily from the military. He banned the surgeries. The military would not pay for transition. That was the big thing. It was not as long as you were, because I know transgender people that served in the military. And I know one for a fact. It went female to male.
Mhm.
So it's not completely. Should women have to be serving combat positions? No, they shouldn't. Right? They shouldn't be forced to. But should they be given the same access? Even though during combat positions, which is like infantry, special forces, should they be given the opportunity to try?
Sure, I think there needs to be a standard that everybody has to meet, and if you can meet the standard, then you should be good to go.
Right. Well, unfortunately, the way it always happens is that they can't make it unreasonable.
I know that. So all the standards get lowered. Yeah.
Right, and it degrades everything, and you see a lower caliber of people getting.
So what
through.
you're saying is, if I petition hard enough, I could be in the NFL.
I mean, you could, right? Or it just goes, well, it's a delicate subject when it comes down to the transgender issue, because who are you to deny someone else's right to feel a certain way?
I don't know.
Right.
I mean, like, but this is, I mean, it's a touchy issue, and I don't claim to be an expert, like, very layman here. And I also, and just to be clear, I don't have a problem with transgender people. I could care less, to be honest with you. I just think when it becomes into the detriment of a gender, you got to ask deeper questions, and I don't know the answers to some of these questions because it's honestly, it's not. I didn't know we were going to talk about this, and it's not something I deeply care about in a way that I'm like researching all the time or looking at all the time.
I know.
But
well, I'm just saying, like, theoretically, like we can sit there and go, it's very basic. I don't believe you should be personally. You should not be able to deny access to a good or service based off of, this is why we have this anti-discrimination. You can't discriminate, right? Like, you can't discriminate against somebody because of what they outwardly project unless they support Trump. Then you can, which we know that's okay. Or if you support the police at one point, that was unacceptable, which we can all see the hypocrisy. It's right in front of your face. There is no way to discriminate fairly.
Well, life isn't fair. I mean, that's kind of the lesson of all this, that people kind of get, I guess, cut out of things all the time. I mean, it's just the way it goes, I guess. Because when we're talking about, like, specifically the athletic thing, like, we're not talking about a meritocracy. A meritocracy is built on, like, a sense of, like, a fairness doctrine, that everybody has an opportunity, like, in terms of what I'm specifically talking about sports. Like, everybody has, like, enters in, has the kind of the same paradigm they exist under, and then they compete, and you see who's the best in that competition. But there is some parity between the athletes, that the circumstances that the athletes exist in terms of
yeah, but some people, okay, just going
ability.
based off the ideological. Well, I mean, so, like,
in terms of ability, like
Squibble says, so should we test for testosterone levels in every athlete in every sport?
probably headed there.
You could argue that as far as when it comes to maybe for female level sports and males, because they already do that for males. If you're in a professional sport and your testosterone, your T levels are too high, that is a sign of that you've probably been doping, or you've been taking testosterone or steroids or whatever. Like, they have ways of detecting it. So they already do that for males. You can't have it too high. You just can't. I'm sure if there's a natural test, maybe they can figure it out. But if it comes down to females, I don't think they test. I mean, I imagine they test them for testosterone, which is why that woman got popped for having natural.
Well, and she has high testosterone. She has and she had very masculine features and whatnot. But I think that's kind of just natural selection. That's just roll the dice. I mean, like, did Amazonian women, were they the same as, like, the average lady back in the Roman days? No, they were a fucking special breed. They were these, like, exceptional people.
Yeah.
In those kind of terms, but they're born that way. There's no augmentation, and they're not going into a different space where most of the people are going to be at a disadvantage. Most of the people are going to be vulnerable. That's not what that was. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the answer to this, but.
No, I know. But Squibbles says, I was during DADT. I don't know if he's saying that maybe, or is that another program I'm just not aware of. And that transition was rough. I couldn't imagine allowing people to transition to the military. Maybe I'm just old hat, though. I don't know. I think it's one of those things where the mind can overcome a lot if you want something bad enough. You know what I mean?
He said it means, like, don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah, don't ask, don't tell. Yeah. So, like, sorry. Duh. I'm a fucking moron. I came in right as that was leaving. 2012. It's the being transgender. People didn't really, I guess, have a big problem with it. Like, at least when I mean, some people did as far as, like, maybe mental health issues. That was a big argument that I heard, and I probably made myself at one point.
Here's the thing. It's completely taboo now to discuss that anybody that would approach the subject, or anybody that would think they feel this way or whatever, you're not allowed to discuss it in terms of mental health, because not everybody that feels this way or wants to go through with this is mentally sound. They're not. And a lot of people are autistic. A lot of people are told, oh, maybe you're going through this. Maybe this is what it is. And then they make their entire identity about that. There is definitely things there's definitely red flags. Now, I'm not saying that is the case for everybody. It's not. But I do think when you get into a zeitgeist moment, this happened when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, like gay, lesbian stuff, it was very zeitgeisty. So there's a lot of, like, I knew a lot of girls who were, like, bisexual all of a sudden. yeah, they kiss the girl, or they fool around.
Mm-hmm.
Like experimenting with your sexuality, like being gay and stuff like that. It was more. There was definitely people that did it for like a year and then just walked away from it and never did it again. Just
Right.
because it's a cultural moment, it's a cultural thing. With this, it's more severe because you could have
destructive.
it could be destructive. It could be totally destructive.
Which Abigail Schreier's book, Irreversible Damage, outlines and details about how usually young women are more affected in this than young men.
Yes, because
because
peer pressure and stuff like that.
Well, I think it's like the herd mentality. They kind of go with
women,
the flow. Like
women have deeper empathy, and they can tend to internalize things in ways that men don't. This is something like Jordan Peterson talks about all the time. They also tend to be more agreeable, which is why women often make less because they don't ask for raises, et cetera, et cetera.
Can we did you listen to read the Times article?
I didn't.
The Sunday Times.
I started listening to Michaela's.
I thought you wrote it. Honestly.
When I'm making fun of, I just usually am just joking around, but.
Yeah, but I mean,
apparently he's a schizophrenic. Apparently he's schizophrenic.
Well, the article, I read it, and I listened to Michaela's thing, and if you guys don't know what this is, but I actually listened to, I read the article, I listened to the entire 3-hour thing. I was chilling,
the
gaming.
raw audio? Yeah.
Yeah, I was just listening to the audio. And I am flabbergasted that this woman, I wonder, did she know they were recording it? She had to have. She had to have known. Because I'm like, half the crap she put in this article was stretching.
Taking things out of context.
Or like piecing one piece from here, one piece from there, and putting it into one like phrase or one paragraph.
Yeah, you do like an ellipses. Yeah, do like an ellipses and then...
Well, super weird. I mean, like, because Michaela, and this is something that I was thinking too, listening to it, it was annoying me a little bit, but I was thinking. So her father, if you guys don't know, he went through benzodiazepine withdrawal, got akathisia, basically was in a delirious state for a while, went to all these facilities, ended up in Moscow, Russia, where they put him in a coma to help him deal.
Yeah, you just got called ugly.
What?
I thought you were looking at the chat. That's why you stopped talking.
Oh, no, I didn't see it. Oh, what up, buddy? What up, my man? There's enough to be said that at least in the context of the conversation, Michaela, because there was periods of time where Jordan Peterson didn't really remember,
so she filled in the gaps and yeah.
And there is a lot of times where she's talking about medical jargon, and I'm like, I don't know. But then I fact checked her. I looked up akathisia, and one of the top causes, do you know what it was? Psychiatric medication. That is like one of the top things, like Xanax, Avian, or what is it? Is that one of them? This is Ativan, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like all these antipsychotic shit, they actually really does cause akathisia. And akathisia, in Jordan Peterson's own experience, was different than most what I've seen, but it's like this uncontrollable urge. You got to keep moving. And you just can't stop. I heard a guy, because I was watching a guy talk about it, and he says it feels like you have energy, like adrenaline, always coursing through your body, like constantly, and you just can't stop. And the dude was like doing it, and you're trying to see if he's faking it or something, but the movements were so like precise, like he would always do this one thing, and you're like, oh shit, like. So Jordan Peterson went through that, and this lady basically looks how the joke you always say. Michaela is like using her death. The handler. Yeah, like basically shitting on Michaela and talking about how, Jordan Peterson was obviously very lost and very desperate. He went to Russia, for God's sakes. I mean,
yeah. I mean, they, even if you kind of they have a propensity for hyperbole, and like they're very dramatic people. Even you could say that, you could suggest that, here, I'll fix you. That you could suggest that,
Fuck.
Yeah,
fuck. I can't tell. It's backwards, bruh. There we go. Let's go a little bit back this way. Huh?
There you go.
Okay, sorry. My floor is a little uneven, so I keep rolling a little bit. Old house people.
No, I think they tend to be kind of dramatic people, and that's kind of what is the appeal of, like, when Jordan Peterson first kind of came on. It is how
oh, do you know what she said?
How big he can be sometimes, and how much he will kind of act passionate, right?
Well, like, do you know what she said?
What?
she compared Jordan Peterson to Donald Trump,
Yeah, I
and
know.
said that she basically this is an example of like failure of toxic masculinity or something. Basically, and it's so fucking gross that these people, like, under good faith, Jordan Peterson's there, and he was really trying to explain his experience the best he could, and they took advantage of him like that. It was kind of gross. It really made me feel grimy. Like, I was like listening to it, like after you see how the article is written, you fucking gross, dude. And nothing will happen to them. Nothing will happen to these people that go and lie and that fucking write this article and try to disparage Jordan Peterson, which it's kind of gross, man. It just fucking sucks because Jordan Peterson even said he was kind of ashamed. Like, it was kind of grotesque that, like, after everything he had said, like, he went through the greatest suffering that in his life,
Mm-hmm.
and then they use this against him to make him look like
A quack.
an ass, like a quack, like an asshole, and you're like, wow.
Well,
Like,
not even just an asshole, but they wanted to make him look crazy because
Schizophrenic.
it's a way to invalidate anything he might do in the future, and also make you call into question his work in the past.
Well, I remember you even said before, it was like, obviously it didn't work for him. I remember you said that. Like, this is before we knew what really was happening. We just knew he was.
Oh, what do you mean, like his
Well, you're
self-help
basically saying,
stuff?
yeah, you're like, it's kind of bullshit, obviously. That's
Well, I mean,
basically-
like, listen, when you are out there and that is your public persona and that's what you talk about, like, kind of well-being and getting your life together and stuff like that, and if you fall off that horse, I'm not suggesting, I'm just saying, like, optically, it'd be like, oh, like,
well,
but,
yeah,
but I know as a person, like, it's very easy to ignore your own advice. It's very easy to think you're an exception. It's very easy to fall into having problems. It doesn't invalidate something if the
yeah, but
principle is
that's
true.
not what happened to Jordan Peterson.
What are you talking about?
It's not what happened to
He
him.
got
It
addicted
wasn't-
to fucking painkillers.
No, he didn't. No, that's not true. That is not true. Benzodiazepine is not a painkiller.
Okay, or an anti-anxiety medication.
It's
My
not
bad.
addicted. You don't get addicted. He didn't.
He grew a dependency
He had
on
a
it.
dependency. That's not
That's
addiction.
addiction. That is addiction.
That is there's completely separate meanings behind dependency and addiction. He got used to a certain. It wasn't. No, you're wrong. You're 100% wrong because he was dependent on them because he was having a tough time with anxiety, and he was prescribed it as in a professional sense. And he
Yes.
took it as prescribed. Okay.
I understand.
An addiction would mean an abuse of it, like, you know, you're
You
abusing.
don't start as addicted to something.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
he was never addicted to it. That is a huge misconstruing of what happened because he started out on X dose and it helped, and the doctor prescribed a little bit more. The problem was benzodiazepines have an ability, according to what I've researched and listened to people, if you stop them cold turkey, in a fair percentage of people, it will cause you to worsen. And so, like, he was told to, like, hey, you're good to get off, and he got off, and this is where everything really started. So it wasn't like an addiction, that it was a dependency that his body needed, and he did the quick cutoff.
Yes, and then
that's
he
where-
had an adverse reaction to that. Sure.
And then they gave
But
him
you
something
don't-
else. Then his doctors gave him something else that actually made it worse. Because I can't remember exactly, but, like, basically it would have had nothing to do with discipline. And he's never once said that you shouldn't take medication.
I didn't say that he did. I don't know.
know-
What are you like throwing? I just said addiction and dependency are similar things. There's, I mean, even
Yeah,
in the
but-
dictionary, it says that's what it says. They are close to synonyms. You can use them kind
are
of
they-
interchange. It says if you look up addiction, it says noun, it defines addiction. Then it says similar, dependency, dependence, craving, habit, weakness, compulsion.
Yeah, but okay. Well, I don't like using. I'm gonna say dependency then, because I think addiction has a bad. It wasn't intentional.
I know, but I wish you just wouldn't
So-
assume that I'm like don't know what I'm talking about all the time. It's a little annoying, but
Okay, great. That was good. Real important. Like, there's.
oh,
it's,
dude, don't, Dan.
No, because, dude, it's like, come on, man. Like, I wasn't trying to say, because
You- Want to have a semantic debate with me? At least be right, I guess, on the other side.
I was wrong. What do you want me to say? Like, you want to rub my fucking face in it? Like, is that what you want to do? Like a fucking dog that pissed on the floor? Like, I don't know. I was wrong. Like, I just interpreted the word differently than you. That's it. Like, move on. So his dependency, addiction, whatever you want to call it, was not necessarily in the sense of it was a failure, I think, of his doctors. That's really what it looks like. And then he was prescribed something else as well. So it was something that caused it to worsen. And no one knew what was wrong with him for a long time. So it's like, I don't think it's a failure of his ideas, is my main point.
Yeah, I never said that, so I guess good you made that point. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to talk about with the Michaela Peterson stuff? I mean, is that video worth checking out? Is there any clips from it or anything?
I mean, it's 40 minutes. I don't know. It's not like, I wouldn't say there's anything in particular it's interesting. I mean, she just kind of goes through the article and she just breaks it down. And she just goes, this is what's wrong. This is what's correct. Nothing of consequence, I would say, or substance that would be interesting. I don't know. It just, they're basically the things that she lied about was a schizophrenia thing, and she misconstrued a few of the bigger allegations, and kind of just being. She attacked Michaela a lot in the article. Well, actually, the majority of the article was about Michaela, and not about Jordan Peterson at all.
Well, because she's kind of the face of the operation, or has been for 18 months or whatever. So.
Well, saying that, like, you know, Jordan Peterson listened to his family, who are not doctors, versus professionals. Like, so they believe like he was kind of like, she makes it look like he was taken advantage of.
Yeah, that Michaela was not being a good advocate for him, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the thing is, was she or was she not? And who gets to determine? He's better. He's better than he was. So it's kind of like, who gets to determine that? And why? It's kind of defamation, I think.
I mean, I don't know if it's defamation technically. It's an opinion piece, so they're allowed to have their opinion. I mean, I suppose if they say he has schizophrenia and they're asserting that as a medical opinion, maybe there's something there they could go after them for. But in terms of, like, if somebody thought Michaela's behavior was untoward or wasn't responsible or whatever, that's just an opinion. People can think that. I mean, even I remember back when all that stuff was happening, even I was kind of like, wow, Michaela's kind of like all over the place, and kind of using her name, her last name, as leverage to kind of into some sort of career, which she has. She ended up finding a way to do that, but it started with with the diet stuff. I mean, yeah. I remember when she published that that weird book,
the Meat Queen stuff.
Well, no, there was like a
Queen
book.
of the Meats.
Yeah, there was a book that has like a really funny cover. I don't know if I can find it.
Yeah, I didn't know she wrote a book. I just know she did.
Here's some Michaela book. See if I can find it. It's like a very funny. It's like it's very poorly photoshopped, and she had gotten involved with like these. This is from Goodreads.com, so this is real. But she was got involved with like these weird like business entrepreneur dudes. Back when I think it was when she was like, I think it was before she went to Russia, because it was when she was like separated from her husband or whatever. But
does that say Jordan and Michaela Peterson?
Yeah, our carnivore diets, how to cure depression and disease with meat only.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, yeah. But people make mistakes, and people, I don't know, just because someone's famous or, I don't know. It's like,
I'm not saying it's any different than anybody else that's the child of a famous person, but she's obviously being held up under scrutiny for probably things like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's fair. Jordan Peterson may be on it himself. I don't know.
Well,
Maybe
I'm sure
it's all a sham. Maybe it's all a story.
Well,
I don't
it's
know.
his daughter.
I mean, it'd be a great way to sell a book, though, honestly.
It's his daughter. Like, he probably wanted to help his daughter. He's like, okay, yeah, we can write a book about this meat diet that we're both doing.
He never pushed it once, though.
What, the book? No.
So it kind of makes me feel
he
like
pushed the diet. He pushed her blog. I mean, that stuff was pretty early on.
She's definitely not a doctor, but the thing is, I don't even fucking know. You can't believe half these fucking people anymore.
I'm not saying like
It doesn't matter.
I'm sure it's been helpful to to people, and you are gonna lose weight. You're gonna eliminate. It's more of like an elimination diet because you just eliminate so many additives that you normally would experience in the food that you consume. So if you just start cutting stuff out, then you're not gonna have like sugars and.
Well, she's trying to be a little more serious. I mean, she's interviewing people and.
I know.
Conversations.
Yeah,
so.
she found a way to like parlay it into something. I don't know what's going on with her Lion's Den community that used to have to pay for.
Yeah,
it was like
probably. I think didn't she have to pay a bunch of people back? That's what I heard.
I don't know. I didn't really follow up on it, honestly.
Well, I think obviously what happened with her father, is a tragedy, and it's like the experience and the amount of stress that Jordan Peterson was probably under, not just with like his professional, but also personal life with his wife being extremely sick, basically saying like she's screwed. She got like 8 months to live, bro, with this rare kidney disease that has 100% fatality rate. It's kind of it must have been horrible. Like it's the worst. It's like biblical. It's almost it's like crazy. No pun intended with the biblical reference, but it's pretty wild. And like the guy definitely went down a dark path, and I he's still I remember watching his interviews, like his last couple interviews, he was broken, like he was fracturing. You could see it. He was crying almost like.
Oh, he was crying. He did a podcast with that Bishop Barron or whatever his name is, the Catholic bishop. He's the guy who does like movie reviews and stuff.
Yeah.
I think they did a podcast together, and I don't remember what they were talking about. Maybe they were talking about Pinocchio again. I think he started crying.
Probably. I mean, he really was letting it go like for a while there, so you could actually see it. And I just hope he comes back. I guess he's starting a book tour supposedly in March. Supposedly.
I don't know.
That he's doing a couple events. I don't know if it's going to be
the 12 more rules for life.
Yeah, it's something like
it's
that.
Like
another 12 rules for
his
life
extra notes from the first book, the things that didn't make the cut, the B-sides.
Well, yeah, I think it's from his 12 more from that list that he originally wrote online, like
I remember
forever
well,
ago.
he did that podcast with Michaela, like not, what was it, 6 months ago or whatever? That first one he did.
Yeah.
And he said that these were from the notes of the first book.
Right. I think, things that were kind of left on the cutting room floor.
So we'll see.
We'll see, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if will I buy it? Probably. Just out of support for the guy. I'll read it too. I read the first one a couple times. It's a good book. I mean, it's a good set of rules. 12 rules for life or antidote to chaos. And I think but his lectures are really where I find to be the most interesting. So
yeah, I'm not really so much into the self-help stuff. I did read I listened to the audiobook. I didn't actually read it technically. I listened to the audiobook, and I think it's all good solid advice. I don't like it's pretty standard stuff. It's just packaged in a Jordan Peterson way. I mean, he's just kind of culling together like 50 years of self-help stuff and positive affirmation and what is it, like building your own story and being a more positive force in your own life and just kind of consolidating it into 12 rules, 12 things.
Yeah, that would be the idea, I guess. Yeah, I think it's some good ideas in there. It's more about taking care of yourself, and I guess it's a self-help book. I guess it falls under that category. Yeah. I guess.
I don't think you would deny that. I think that's that's common.
Pretty close. Yeah.
I mean, when he goes to give seminars, like when he was on the book tour with Dave Rubin and stuff. I mean, that's what it would be. It would be about like how to better your life, and every night he would go, and pick whatever. Squibble says Sean isn't into self-help. Surrounded by nerd stuff. Laugh out loud. Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah, you're a real fucking brainiac, huh? Anyways, I don't know. Anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, there's really nothing else that's been too crazy that I've seen. I think it was the New York Times wrote that there needs to be a reality czar in the government. So that's pretty interesting. Something like that. It's like reality czar. They want to create some sort of like that cuts through the news, basically. Like actually tells you what reality is. It's a joke. It's not a joke. They're serious, but yeah, Squibbles. He's like, what? Yeah, dude, it's pretty weird stuff, man.
It's a New York Times article suggesting that.
Biden this is an opinion or whatever. Yeah, they're suggesting that you do it, and they're like, before you think it's dystopian and this and that's like, well, if you have to fucking say that, like, it's weird. It's like in 1984, Minister of Truth, right? That's what they're talking about. So
I'm trying to find just the actual article, and I can't. It's everybody writing about the article.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to find it because it's New York Times. You have to be subscribed or whatever.
Is there a paywall?
Oh yeah, it's like you get $1.99 a month, whatever. Let's see. Or whoever wrote it, I don't know who it is, but it's pretty weird. That's the argument that they want to make. That we need to have some sort of governmental agency to tell us what the truth is. I mean, we already have that with the FBI and the CIA. Like that's what they do. They tell you what the truth is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Syrian chemical attack, 100% happened this way. You just have to okay.
Well, yeah, the state, when it ever comes to things like that, the state always comes in and tries to define a narrative.
What about the coup that just happened? Coup d'etat in Myanmar, or whatever. Myanmar,
whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking military rolled in, dude. There was that.
I saw that video of that workout chick, yeah.
Yeah, the state health official, like, that's what she does. She's just, like, ripping, doing her Pilates or whatever. And then, boom, there's just trucks going in, and that was a pretty big event. Supposedly China supported it, so China was okay with it. So
with the coup.
Yeah, I guess China came out and supported it, like it was okay. You think 1984 was good? Check out the book that influenced We by Yevgeny Zamayans, something like that. I will check it out. Thank you, Squibbles. Yeah, this lady. I mean, I just wonder if this is
You're gonna probably have to turn it down. It's kind of loud.
I already did, yeah.
Man, she's getting ready to jam.
Yeah, she's like the health official or something. I guess they do this like every morning.
Should probably. I'm just gonna mute it just in case I get caught.
Love Black Panther. See this? Absolutely loves Black Panther.
Is that a Wakanda thing?
Yeah, the fuck. Come on, man. Talking about. It's like the most famous thing from it. Then they fucking Wakanda forever, dude. But she's getting it, and it's like, what's going on over there? You just see trucks, dude. It's pretty wild. I mean, she's getting it. She's putting it in there. But she's even got the mask on. You're right. Coup is acceptable.
Yeah, it's dedication. If she's a state employee, yeah, she's gonna have the mask on. Well, outside by herself.
It's so weird. Like, you'll see Paskey or whatever her name is up at the podium.
Saki.
Saki, up the press secretary, and she won't be wearing a mask. You're on federal fucking property. You have to be wearing.
Yeah,
one.
but doesn't she have it when she's walking up and when she's leaving? She puts it back on. They make allowances for whoever. There's no real rule.
Even Joe Biden is sitting in the White House at the desk.
Only after massive criticism for when the 2 times he didn't.
He's double masking now. What do you feel about double masking? Triple? I guess Fauci's in support of it now, saying the CDC might make changes saying they recommend it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like it was like a month ago he was saying like you could do that, but it's not really gonna. There's no data.
It was like it was literally days ago he said that.
Yeah, now they're like, well, maybe it will work.
And there it is. There's the coup, dude. Right there, you're witnessing it. Do they even stop or do they just keep going? What happens here? Oh, they just rip in. They don't give a shit.
They said move. We got a coup to do.
I like how happy she just has no idea what's going on. Yeah, look, they're opening the gates, dude, and they're just ripping in. That's got to be a scary fucking moment. You want to talk about insurrection? That's insurrection. Like, that's a coup d'etat.
Yeah, an actual organized thing. Where
Yeah,
people
like,
go
well,
and do it.
Well, I mean, it was organized at the Capitol, but just,
Not really, though. I
I
mean, it's just
it
like a
was
handful.
more organized than not.
If it was organized, then something actually would have happened. But most people got in there, went and took selfies. Like,
Yeah.
having like 10 or 15 people that were there trying to incite things, I don't know if I'd call that necessarily organized.
I think I think it was more. There's a lot of people that knew it was going to happen, supposedly. She's fucking getting it. You know, she may not be able to stop the coup. She probably got arrested too. Most likely. They're like, we'll spare her.
I wonder if she just like literally didn't notice, or she was just like, no, I got a job to do today.
It could be one of those things like, she probably didn't notice. Is she out there filming herself? I wonder if she's got a crew. Because the camera, I mean, obviously it goes off, so I don't know if that's just the way it was cut or if that's just how she did it.
I don't think she has a crew. I think that's just what she does. Like, it looks like just like a morning. It's like a cell phone. Probably has it.
It's not a very long workout
on a tripod. Maybe it's not the. It says it's the full video. I don't know.
I mean, it's not a long workout. She wasn't sweating barely at all.
Well, you just got to get out. It helps you start moving in the morning.
I guess so.
Maybe she live streams it or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I guess they went in, they arrested the president, and who knows, dude? It's probably China. It probably is fucking China, dude.
What, pulling the strings and behind the scenes?
100%. Well, they're built a pipeline and a rail system into Myanmar from China. So it's like there was this big trade thing going on. And supposedly, I mean, the president was a big supporter of China. That's what some of the insinuation was when the coup did happen, that they were trying to maybe not go with China. But now, since China's kind of come out and gave it vocal support, they're thinking some other things, obviously. Changes the dynamic of what the coup means. Because I guess the president was supposedly very close to China. And now you're seeing it even in Australia, like some weird shit's going on, man. They shut down 2 million people because of one case in Australia. Mm-hmm. Or maybe it was New Zealand. It was one of the two.
No, I think it was New Zealand. New Zealand basically kept the lockdowns going until it hit 0, right?
Well, what are they going to do when it fucking does?
They even suspended an election last past September.
That's fucking wild. We should have done that in America.
Oh, that's what everybody was suggesting that might happen. It just never did. Never came to be.
They would never do it. They hated Trump so much. And now that if the impeachment goes through, which it won't, because they'll be like signing a death note for all their political careers. Then again, maybe it wouldn't, because maybe people just don't give a shit anymore. I don't know. But people follow Twitter too much, and it's like too intense. When your everyday average American doesn't give a shit about racial equity or transgender. It's like, does the American people really need a shepherd? Do the sheep really need a shepherd? Like an elite class to guide them through the world and like history or whatever.
What do you mean, just like smart people?
Well, yeah, whatever. What people deem to be smart, whether it's education or...
Generally, smart people tend to be successful, so if that's the barometer that we have, I suppose that's the best we can do.
Yeah, but
doesn't mean people don't fall to becoming corrupt or egomaniacs or whatever.
I mean, I think it's more along the lines of... Is it supposed to be that way? Like dominance hierarchy, like that's the way it is, right? That's what's supposed to happen.
It naturally occurs in nature.
Right, and so do trans people, Sean. You have to remember that. It does naturally occur in the human nature, I guess now. That's what they're saying. I just don't know. I don't know. Pretty interesting. I was listening to these two guys talk about it, like, do the sheep need a shepherd anymore? Do they need a government to tell them what to do and what not to do?
Well, if to see how easily people are led or can fall into conspiracy theories or whatever, probably.
Yeah, but
I mean, you could get
what happens if your government is pushing the main proponent of the conspiracy theory, like Iraq has WMDs?
I'm not suggesting that they are not at fault or anything like that. I'm just saying it naturally people do. Everybody, that's just going to happen whether you live in the tribal days or you live now. We just have a more complicated, convoluted way of doing it. I don't think there's ever going to be a time where it just flattens out and there is no type of hierarchy or a sense of democratic process.
There's another impeachment, but he's not in office. Yeah, that's the point, dude. Everyone knows it's unconstitutional. They just don't care. And Lindsey Graham is out there doing his best rat face impression of like being strong. Like, if you call witnesses, it's gonna take months and like blah blah blah. Like, we'll call witnesses like the FBI.
Said they call for a full investigation, basically. But like I said, go for it. Do it.
We should do one anyway. It's not fucking like. If anything, they should just, you know, if you went in, you pay a fine, you go to jail for a few months, whatever. Like, I don't know. Or maybe you should be able to allow people to, because like they have the green zone, which is the same things they did in Iraq and Afghanistan. It's so weird. It's so weird, man. 5,000 troops are going to stay there till the end of March, supposedly, or however long the trial takes. Walls may become permanent there to protect them.
What do you mean, the chain link fence?
No, they're going to make like a permanent structure. That's what they want to do.
Oh,
that's what they're talking about, making a permanent structure, fence structure around it, because
listen, it was a terrifying 90 minutes for most of them, you know.
Well, I mean, and that's what they coming full circle back to the AOC. It's kind like Lindsey Graham was more, and Mike Pence was more in danger than she ever was, and she's the one that is out here claiming that she thought she was gonna die. Maybe she did think that, but it's obviously a little bit of bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, it's opportunistic. It's also something that's become a thing where people are like asking her like for more details and whatnot, and she obliges.
Or the funniest part is, when did this all start, guys? When Wall Street Bets fucking came out. It started fucking with Wall Street. It's the same thing. I guess that's what everyone was saying during 2008, Occupy Wall Street. They started like introducing identity politics and like racism. Like New York Times and all the mainstream media started using like identity politics references like racism, white supremacy, and sexism, and, you know, patriarchy and all this crap we've seen, and started pushing it really, really hard, which is supposedly that what led to the downfall of the original Occupy Wall Street. So they're saying that they're trying to do it again. I guess there's a Reoccupy. There's people there that have been going there every day and protesting. So libertarians, leftists, alt-right people, like, they're all there. So it's pretty interesting to see. But Dave Portnoy sold his fucking stock, dude. He had paper fucking hands.
Well, I mean, he was about to lose more than he lost, so.
Well, I mean, he was.
No, the problem is like after a week or so, I mean, then other just giant hedge funds bought GameStop stock. It's so hard to say that. They ended up doing like what BlackRock and this other company. They put in millions and millions of dollars. They drove it up, and they mass sold, which drove it down, and then it caused other people to panic and drive it down too. So you had people, real Wall Street market people, in there manipulating it too because they saw an opportunity, and they did.
Well, it was called a. I can't remember what they referred to. Basically, they were selling and buying from each other. Some weird. They were like selling massive amounts, then someone else would buy massive amounts. They're basically trading it back and forth to fluctuate the stock, and giving. So when it did drop, people would sell out of panic or whatever. But the problem is, the Robinhood and all these companies halted trading, not allowing people to buy, only to sell.
Yeah, there's a reason why. It's because Robinhood has to front the money because it takes 2 days to make an actual transaction, but you get it immediately. So they couldn't cover the capital. They didn't have the liquidity to cover the trades, basically. Well, and instead of just saying that, they kind of just made something up, which was stupid. I don't know why they just... Because this is the thing. You're seeing how fragile of a system this is, and they're doing things they really shouldn't be doing, because if you can't afford to do this, then you shouldn't be doing it. And
well, it wasn't...
They got caught with their pants down, kind of.
No, that's not that's not true.
What's not true?
They did have the liquidity. That is not...
They got... Yeah, because somebody gave them an influx of a couple $1 billion, correct?
No. That's not what happened. what happened.
Well, do you have an
'Cause he
article
did,
or
he-
something?
Well, he talked to Elon Musk. I listened to it.
So did I.
Okay, so what he explained it. The DTC, which is like the people that were this percentage, so like they would only have to give them like 15% worth of the stock normally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, you pay $10, you only have to give them, $1.50 or whatever it is, or $15, excuse me, out of 100. The stock was worth 100, you have to give them $15. They requested 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that it's, I mean, you could argue it's a liquidity issue. It was that the regulators or whoever the DTC, the people that request this money and they deal with the trade and the transaction, all this stuff, they went from 15% to 100%. So they forced a liquidity issue on them. It wasn't that they didn't have the original liquidity to do it. Is that these guys who work in this other department are the ones that fucked with them. So you're not wrong in saying it, but that's not like the set of circumstances that happened, because they were like, okay, we're good to go. And then they got a call at like 2 a.m, basically saying, hey, it's going to be 100%. And they're like, fuck, like we can't pay that. Right. So it's just the set of circumstances that led it to being a liquidity. Wasn't until that next day, but that was, supposedly that was already figured out, I guess. Like that's what, I mean, isn't that what he said on the Elon Musk thing?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So it was not necessarily a liquidity issue in the beginning. Like it wasn't, it was forced upon them. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not suggesting that it wasn't forced or not forced upon them. What I just said
So they
is
didn't get caught.
they just didn't have the money to be able to do it, so they had to stop it, and then that's why they also limited the trades after the fact.
But it was just disingenuous to say they were caught with their pants down, because they weren't. They were fucking had their pants pulled down. Like someone pulled them down for them. Like someone came down and said "fuck you," basically.
Yeah, because
I think it's fair to represent it accurately.
Okay, sure, Dan. I mean, that's just yeah, I agree with you. That's sure. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I know there's a class action lawsuit, but those things tend to go nowhere and they take 10 years. So
well, the arbitration, I guess you can't. Arbitration's not allowed in their terms of service, and they were within their legal rights. Suppose it looks like it's just going to be a big dud. I'm sure they have things in their terms of service that probably allow for what they did, honestly. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, from what I've seen, that yes, arbitration is not allowed. Like, so that's according to the terms of service. That's what Will Chamberlain said. He's like, nah, like terms of service, man, like you're screwed. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. And supposedly people's stocks got forced sold. There's a lot of things, but I mean, actually, at the end of the day, it's not Robinhood's fault, unfortunately. It is these private regulators, these people that control the market. It was really them that did it. Like they forced it upon people like Robinhood, Ameritrade. And this is the question that everyone who is investing, you probably shouldn't use Robinhood. You should be using something like Fidelity that takes 5-10% or $30 every transaction, because they have the quote unquote liquidity, I guess. Because I don't think Fidelity, it was one of the bigger ones to actually charge a commissioning fee. They never stopped. It's just that every transaction is like $30.
Yeah, because they're making money, so they can cover it. No matter the circumstances, no matter whether they get like the 100% called in or if they continue doing it up to 15 or 20%. I'm sure all of these brokerage apps and firms and stuff probably have different agreements. I don't know what that would be, but.
Well, yeah, like I said, like so the way the Robinhood and a lot of these people that have these free trading apps that are free and easy of access to most people, and they don't take a brokerage fee, is through selling their metadata. So they sell their metadata to these hedge funds, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. So that's how they do it. They're basically like Facebook. They sell your data, and that's it.
They're incentivized to get as many people using it as possible. That's why they make it, there's no fees. That's why there's no fees, because they want everybody to use it.
I think this is a big example, or one of the prime examples. People are done with the corporate bullshit. They don't want to see the fucking nice, like, just be honest. Hey, we got screwed. We're sorry. And this is what we have to do to the stocks so that we don't go out of business And then if we go out of business, all the money that you have in your Robinhood could be lost. Because they can't afford to pay you out. If they would have it's the same thing with fucking Cyberpunk 2077. Just tell me that it's a fucking shit show so I know when I go in there to play it that I'm not expecting it to be perfect. Why mislead me down this fucking path? It's like you're like people don't want that anymore. They don't want to hear the nice corporate fucking dog and pony show. You know, we care about our investors. Like, dude, we don't give a shit about that. Tell us what the fuck happened and like, let's move on. Because I guarantee if they would have came out and just been honest from that initial morning.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't. I don't know why they said it the way they did.
Like, why did he say it wasn't a liquidity issue?
He said it was. They said it was. One of the things was to protect protect people buying stock. It's just like, no, clearly that's not what you guys are doing. It's not to protect the investors. Like, oh, we don't want people to get hurt. You're like, I don't know.
Well, there's the volatility. The reason why the price went up is because of the volatility or whatever, or the percentage this DTC place takes.
Yes.
So it's just pretty fucked up, man. It's just.
But for some reason, it's okay if you were left holding the bag, but not them. They got.
Well, they were left holding the bag.
That's what I'm saying. But it's okay. But they were like, that's not okay, and now we gotta fix this. Instead of just having to, I don't know, pay the piper, go out of business, do what you got to do.
Yeah, but if they go out of business, you lose it too. You lose everything as the investor because that is tied to them. So it's just like if you have your money,
but they're a brokerage,
but you're trading with them. So that money is being held by who? Robinhood, right?
Well, I guess everybody could take them to court then. I guess I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's just you can't, right? Because class action is not allowed, arbitration. Like, there's no way to take them to court because it's what happened to the 2008 real estate collapse. Is these guys that had to short the stocks, if they didn't short the stocks at the right, like, let's say they just never called the stocks in, if they would, and those banks failed anyway, they would have never got paid.
Yeah, I guess so. Sure.
So like, it's just because the banks held the equity. So like, you gotta argue like there has to be a defense. And I think I don't think that's ever happened where, at least with these free investment apps, where something like this has ever happened. So they had no way to know.
No, I'm not suggesting that. Yeah, they had a easy road to toe, or there was a blueprint, or if anybody could even really give them advice, I suppose. Because
they literally they said fuck you, pay me. That's what happened. That's what this company said. They're like, fuck you, pay me, and they're like, we don't have the ability to. And they go, I think they did eventually talk it down to a certain percentage, and that's why they could limit the stocks the next day.
Yeah, they must have done something, and also they got injection of cash from somebody, from I believe other hedge funds.
It was a couple billion, yeah, or I heard 700 million to a couple billion. I'm not really sure, but this is kind of on like Elon Musk and like these big popular guys pushed his stock, and maybe they exposed a weakness in the system for sure, but they also kind of screwed over Robinhood. Like they did. They got like everyone got screwed in this one except the hedge funds. Which I think they still lost a lot of money, but
they lost a lot of money for sure. But it didn't have the I guess the legs that people wanted it to have.
And like Dave Portnoy said when he sold, he's like, listen, he's like, I'm a paper hands bitch. Like I let go. Like I was down, $700K because he bought in late. And then when he bought in is when all the shit happened. Like everything he was really pissed. Mm-hmm. And it didn't look good. It just did not look good, man. And I don't know how even Webull like had to stop, which they were the pro. Yeah, we'll fucking work with you. And then no, we can't do it either. Like everyone, it hit every single app. So people thought it looked coordinated.
Well, I mean, it technically could have been coordinated in the sense of when people are saying "fuck you, pay me" to all of these things.
Yeah, then
So
that's the part.
They're trying
you
to
know,
squeeze out people from actually being able to do that, trying to save the hedge funds by driving down the price of the stock, forcing sales, because that's how they could sell all those stocks. Because there's something called on the margins. So if you only have X amount, I guess, like they're authorized to dump your stock, basically.
Well, they would be like, so like as far as it's like a stop loss. So like if you go below a certain percentage of loss, they automatically sell. You know, I think that's probably what happened. They also, what was I gonna say? Shit, it was a good point. No, I can't remember. But I guess when it comes down to the way the stocks will be handled in the future. Oh, this is what it is. The SEC is investigating Wall Street Bets now. That's who they're investigating. They formally came out and said they're investigating social media groups or something for doing this.
Well, I mean, they might go in there and find that there are people that maybe were not quite the revolutionary, innocent revolutionaries that everybody said that they were. I'm sure those people were in there. There was an opportunity here for people to make a lot of money, and some people did.
If you're Jimmy Kimmel, it was probably a Russian disruptor, so that's what it is.
Technically, it could. Well, not to say that he's right or anything like that, but and to say that without irony would be weird. But I mean, if a foreign government was trying to fuck with your economy, why wouldn't they do something like that?
I'm sure they jumped in. They jumped in. Okay, but why can't? If it's so easy, why doesn't Russia just dump like $1 billion into GameStop then? Like the actual country. Like they just go, okay, hey dude, you're our guy. You're gonna go dump $1 billion. Like why don't they do that?
I don't know. Maybe it would be just seen as too aggressive. I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably an act of war.
War to try to destroy the U.S. economy
through GameStop,
or not the economy, but the market, the Wall Street.
Well, I mean, that is our economy. Everything's tied to it.
Yeah, but
everything.
You weaponizing the market is probably not like on the up and up. No, what could have been, it could have been a cool. No, I know that. I mean, they just don't. It's just not announced in that way. Like if you were on this kind of this hot moment and then you put yourself in the middle of it, it probably would be not looked upon favorably.
Would have been hilarious.
But like I don't know. I mean,
but it was still a big moment. I don't think it's going anywhere.
I don't know. I mean, it's I was watching one of these kind of like these financial dudes on YouTube or whatever. He's like, how are you going to know when to sell? He's like, as soon as the media stops talking about it. It's like, this only has life because the media has decided to
and the media was pushing a fake news story about silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, like pushing
trying
all
to get people
propaganda.
to shift. And, and that's when you knew, actually. And that is exactly the point. That was the kind of the drop point, the inflection point where it started to fall. It was it was like that day.
Well, that was coordinated. Those were probably those hedge funds doing their big buys, big sells, doing all this bullshit. So,
which I don't know, is that legal or not? I don't know enough about this.
It's really called. Know. I heard what it's. There's a particular term. It's like closed door trading. It's like it's not inside trade. So basically, these guys get together, they have dinner, and they talk about business.
Yeah, they just bullshit. Sure.
And then they go make deals.
Well, because you have to make a provision, because if this is your business, all the people you know are going to be in that business. You're going to have friends. You're going to go out to eat. You're going to go to parties at each other's houses.
Right.
Like you can't like criminalize all of that stuff.
Well,
and you're going to talk shop, and you're going to talk shop. Like it's
they make deals. Like there's nothing wrong. Why can't a hedge fund call another hedge fund and say, hey, we're dropping $1 million today of GameStop. Can you know. We'll let you have first dibs.
Well, that feels like insider trading, because that's like what's going to happen, and you're cluing somebody into it, being like, "Yo, this is going to go down." That feels like illegal. I don't know though.
I don't know what the legality of
well, that would to me isn't that that's all that insider trading really is. It's like when you know something specific is going to happen in the market, and you call somebody and be like, "Yo, put in, pull out." That's like what Martha Stewart got in trouble for.
Yeah. I don't know. I wonder what the legality, but like that's the thing. They're gonna go after a bunch of people on Reddit. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna go after people on Reddit for posting memes, for doing whatever. Not going after people like how can these quote unquote like these regulators they're not federal, they're not state, they're just private companies that regulate the market.
Mm-hmm.
and it's like the Federal Reserve. It's not really the federal government, like anything. It's
Well,
just
because
a private bank.
there's a reason for it to be there like that. It's so that it's to eliminate conflict of interest. That's what they would say. I don't know whether or not that's true. It seems like the government has an awful lot of control over it, anyways. But, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty gross though. That's what I know. It's pretty gross that they're even talking about investigating these guys. Maybe they should. I don't know, but it just seems like a bunch of people on the internet talking shit and talking about how we're gonna go buy GameStop.
Well, they're gonna have to find some like actual wrongdoing.
Well, and that's the thing is the whole idea of it. It's called Wall Street bets. It's like they like YOLO money away.
Yeah, it's like gambling.
Crazy.
It's like whatever. Yeah.
Oh my God! Like I was watching this little video on YouTube, and this guy was talking about how he lost like 700 grand. He started with 10. And he went all the way up by YOLOing, and then he lost it all, like on a YOLO, like on 2 YOLOs.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking crazy, you know.
If you got the money to do it.
But the concept is, even Mark Cuban was doing Ask Me Anything on there, and he himself was saying, "Don't fucking sell." He's like, this is market manipulation. This is what they're doing. This is what they do. He's like, if you fucking sell, they're just gonna win.
Yo, that's
even
true.
himself.
No, everybody had to sit on it. Everybody would have had to sit. And the problem is, I think once these other hedge funds and other actual Wall Street market people got involved, they figured out how they could manipulate it to make people panic.
Well,
and people did.
Yeah.
People took the bait. I mean, either that or some people bought into the silver thing. Like, I don't know. I know silver went up a little bit. I don't know if it went crazy.
Well, that's what they say. But everybody on the Reddit, had over 1 million upvotes. Was like, don't fucking believe it.
So many people were doing this that clearly were just not paying attention to that stuff.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, maybe it went up because CNN wrote an article about it, waited like 12 hours. Then they went and fucking looked at it did go up by 3.2%.
It's possible, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they already had done the disinformation campaign.
Well, I think there was just a lot of people like me that would have been like, oh, cool. Because I would have done it just to do it, not necessarily trying to make money, because I would never put in what I wasn't willing to lose. Like, but I should have bought that damn AMC stock the other day when it was at $12.
Should have. They definitely, I think, what was it? Dave Portnoy said he bought back in at like 700,000 to AMC. 700. Like that's some crazy money. That guy's worth a lot of money, dude.
Yeah, he's worth a lot though. Yeah.
A guy fucking from Boston started a shitty little rag called Barstool Sports. It's crazy. It's awesome.
Yeah, I've never really consumed a lot of their content, so I don't know.
Dave Portnoy is like your typical
he's a Boston dude.
Diehard Pats, Red Sox fan, the whole nine, and he just, the thing I understood, how he got sued by, I don't want to say, I think it was Tom Brady. He got sued by somebody because he posted a naked picture of Tom Brady's kid with they're on the beach, and he said, look at that fucking Titanic, dick, because the kid had a gigantic dick, and he refused to take, it was this huge thing, dude. Because he said it was a joke, and I'm dead serious.
Well, he might have his own. Obviously he didn't actually post a nude photo of a child.
No, yes, he did.
Damn, you can't do that.
You can look into it. Maybe it wasn't nude. Maybe they put something over the kid's junk. I don't know. I imagine. But the kid was nude, running, and you can look it up. I don't know if you'll find the picture, or whatever. I don't know. If you look up the story. That's really what he got really big. One of the big things that happened that kind of shot them up into more stardom was that he refused to take down a pic of Tom Brady's naked kid because he was calling his dick this huge. It was talking about how big it was, and he refused to apologize for it.
All of them are about a more recent one where he settles over a labor board dispute, anti-union stuff. They settled out of court. Anti-union tweets by founder of Barstool draw labor law. And this started in 2019, and in January 22nd they settled.
Well, okay, but are you telling me there's no reference to him Type in Tom Brady, like Barstool Sports posts naked pictures.
Barstool founder defends decision to post naked. This is from 2011.
Yeah.
Boston CBS local. Let's see what it says.
It's crazy.
I don't need your media. Stop it. Barstool Sports founder David Portnoy defended a post on his website that included naked photos of Tom Brady's 2-year-old son on Friday. The photo posted on Boston Barstool Sports Thursday afternoon included graphic commentary and several other photos of Benjamin Brady and his mother, Giselle Bündchen, recently seen vacationing in Chile.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. I said he had a big howitzer, so that's not sexual. If you're making a connection to that being sexual, then I would look into the mirror and that's what I say, because it's not sexual at all.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone with a rational brain could say, oh, that's because I said that's sexual. It's a Curb Your Enthusiasm joke. Yeah, I think he kind of is missing the plot here, but yeah. I mean, it's not the joke that's the problem. It's the problem you posted somebody's naked child onto your fucking...
You have to watch him defend himself. It's pretty funny.
I'm sure it's... I'm not saying it.
He has a whole YouTube, or on YouTube, they have a whole, like, 30-minute breakdown or something. Like, he goes into it. He's like, listen, this is, like, it's fucked up, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's a better... That's, you know how the news is. Like, I don't know. There is a way that he explains it. Is like, it was not... I think it wasn't even you could see his dick. It was like a shadow or something. Yeah. It was like... But it was the commentary on the kid's dick size. That's all it was. And like it was fucking... It was a joke, obviously. And obviously the media just ran with it. And they were freaking out. And it was... Come on, man. But Dave Portnoy is an interesting figure, but he's that fuck you, I will never apologize type of dude. So, and he like lambasted himself on Twitter. He posts up a picture, like a gif of dudes with like really little hands like covering their face. He's like, I'm a bitch, I sold out. Mm-hmm. You know, I was down, I lost 700K. And everyone was shitting on him. He posted like a video later basically going, he's like, I'm not a fucking suit. Don't fucking call me that. Yeah. He's like, I may be a pussy. I may be this, that, the other, but he's like, I'm not a fucking suit. And he lost 700K on this. It was pretty good. You know, I don't know. The Barstool, a lot of them are liberals, like you know, Boston guys that went to college. Mm-hmm. But Dave is not. He's like got that working class, like fuck you attitude. I like it. It's funny. It's good. And his pizza reviews are pretty funny too.
Yeah, I don't know. I've known about Barstool, and I know that there's all different permutations of Barstool. Like they have all these sub channels and.
Yeah, you got to go back to classic
Instagrams
and just a couple guys in a room talking shit. You know, like they fucking got arrested at the NFL headquarters or whatever in like New York or something.
Yeah,
got arrested because they refused. They had chained themselves together because of the Deflategate shit with Tom Brady. They got like legit arrested for it.
Yeah.
It's like hilarious. It's hilarious, man. Yeah, he got arrested at the Super Bowl too. He broke into the Super Bowl, like wearing a fake mustache and shit and glasses.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's like, I got to see my boy Tommy, and he just like broke in. He didn't give a fuck. And he's, you know, obviously worth a couple $100 million, so it's not like he cares or whatever. But it's pretty cool to see a guy that started out with a newspaper magazine. Go all the way to being, you know, I think in 2000, like around that time, 2011, 2012, they blew up kind of from like being, I think, worth like $10 million to like $450 million in 2016.
Yeah.
It's insane. Yeah. Actually his CEO woman, she is a woman. And he got, you know, she bought a hockey team, like a female hockey team. And they all, like, obviously a bunch of fucking SJWs got out there and started talking about how she's like works for a sexist, misogynistic, Barstool Sports is racist, white supremacist, like all this crap. And like the league sided with the writers, like like people were coming out like, I denounce this owner, yada yada, all this like SJW crap. And Dave Portnoy's like, fuck it, we'll start our own league. So I guess they're gonna start their own female hockey league, and it's probably going to be big because Barstool will be supporting it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
I heard a little bit about that. I just didn't really look into it.
Yeah, I respect him in a sense of like he's willing to call it bullshit. He's kind of like, you know, he got to interview but he got to interview Donald Trump. Like, that's pretty cool. But no one at his work wanted him to.
Well, when he was
they were
running?
No, like recently. He went to the White House. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You got to go to the White House, and people were fucking, like, everyone at work was like, hey, like, we disagree, basically. And he's like, I don't fucking care.
It was a fucking business decision, first of all. Like,
well, it's not even just like, he is a libertarian.
no, I know that, but even like if you're running a company and you have an opportunity, like a company like Barstool, and you have an opportunity to go like interview the president,
why would you not? Yeah,
like even if he's hated, like you're gonna get tons of clicks. Like people are gonna go watch that thing.
I know I did. I know I watched it, because I thought it was crazy that Dave Portnoy from fucking Mass is like just in there just talking to the president, talking shit. And it was a fairly decent interview. It's just cool. It's a cool story, man. Like, you should definitely go check out the origins of Barstool on YouTube. It's a fun watch, 30 minutes. And it really makes you feel good inside that, like, humble beginnings, man. It's like cool. He wasn't some trust fund kid that just got, you know what I mean?
No, he's a dude. He had just, got together with his friends, did some shit, and it blew up, became something. Lucky.
It's not even luck. Like, it's not. Like, and that's the thing that I think the more and more that I read, like, a lot of it seems like luck. And then it just seems like the people that make it to do anything, it's like beyond that, It's like they just won't be denied. It's like, what's his fucking name? The fuck? That was weird. Anyway, what's his fucking name? I can't remember his name. Jackson, the guy that fought in the early 1900s for the Super Bowl, the first African American heavyweight champion of the world in boxing. It's just pretty cool, man. I don't know. I really respect those types of guys. It's like Elon Musk. It's cool. It's a billionaire dude, and he still fucks with the little guy.
Yeah, I mean on Twitter, yeah.
I mean,
on Twitter
you could say that. Yeah, but he does. I don't know. Like, you don't have to have
he just understands internet culture. He enjoys it because he's a nerd.
Well, look at his companies, though. You don't have to have a high school degree, or a college degree, or any degree to get into his school, into it work for him.
He just wants to be able to do it.
Yeah, and I think that's really that's more of a working man's class, like working class culture, than like a millionaire elitist or billionaire elitist culture.
But it's also part of internet culture. Like, he knows like the underground of the internet and the types of people that linger there. And a lot of those people are very smart. Maybe they're going nowhere. Yeah. Maybe they don't have the opportunities or whatever, but he knows they exist.
Yeah. For sure. It's just cool, man. I don't know. I like seeing guys that are at least more. You could argue Trump was that way or not that way. He at least was able to feel like, it made it feel like there was a connection,
What do you mean, like just like a regular guy talking to him type of vibe?
No, it's not even that. It's like at least I feel something when he talks, whether it's like anger, or I laugh, or I like. It felt like I could connect to Donald Trump more than I could in a lot of politicians. It didn't feel plastic.
Oh no, I feel like you got like somewhat of a genuine sentiment most of the time. I mean, some of it's calculated. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, it's definitely calculated, but you can still, I don't know. Like, I think that was kind of the brash boldness I think a lot of people didn't like, and I think a lot of people did. It obviously didn't work out for him this time, They set him up, dude. He got Ocean 11. That's what happened. He got Ocean 11, dude, straight up. They gave him the good old Ocean 11. It's just my opinion, though.
Are you saying that they stole something from him?
No, I'm not saying they stole it. I'm saying it's more of like I set the table in a certain way so that when I sit down, I'm at the place where I want to be, next to the hot chick with the fucking nice, sweater puppies, Like, I positioned myself to be in the position where I wanted to be, where everyone else feels like, oh, this was just an accident. This is just the way it's meant to be. And I'm like, no, I made this happen. This is my destiny. And my name is Joe Biden.
Yeah, Joe Biden, he won. He's the president of the United States.
Yeah,
He
it's
won.
pretty cool. He won. It's over. It's
I mean,
done.
it's
This is
pretty
cool.
inspiring to see a man his age, with his mental faculties. We could reach the moon.
Yes.
I mean, anything is
Yes.
possible. I mean, the guy
Uh,
doesn't even have to talk for 6 months. He literally hung out in his basement, and now he's
It's
the
kind of-
president of
yeah.
the United States of America.
Got to go to like a car lot with like fucking 10 other cars, just honking and chilling. You know.
COVID rules, Joe Biden says. Best election ever, Joe Biden.
So, you Ocean 11 me? Find your way to my bed chambers.
You're gonna be like, what, that little
Honest
Asian
Joe
man?
is right for America. Honest, that's hilarious. Honest Joe. Yeah, I don't even know. You just can't trust anything, dude. It just doesn't matter. You know, that's like the biggest thing I'm realizing more and more. It's like people are going to believe what they want to believe, and I think social media, it plays a role, but I think people are even waking up to that. You know,
What do you mean?
I think everyone's waking up to the. Yeah, we got like intoxicated, the endorphins. It felt good. It was new. It was cool, and now everyone's kind of like, social media. We all know it's bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I think to a certain extent, some people still hold on to it. I don't know. It's just like the average person isn't really that self-aware about this stuff. They just aren't. They don't even think about how these things kind of augment your behavior or do whatever. They don't even think about it. It just happens.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, it's I've stepped away from it pretty much. I don't get mad at Twitter though.
No,
I don't
yeah.
I don't like legitimately get mad. I don't go in there and argue with people. Sometimes I'll post a little troll picture or something that I think is funny.
Just about the
but-
memes.
Yeah. Is QAnon social media from Lumazuma? That's where it originated, was Reddit and 4chan or I think 4chan. So I mean, is that considered social media? I guess, right?
Well, Reddit, 4chan, it's just the progress of message board culture. That's kind of just where we are with that. I don't know. It did congregate on social media because people made Facebook groups and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think social media played a role, but there is no place that social media doesn't play a role in our society, honestly. It influences every aspect of our culture, because so many people partake in it.
yeah, it's the new communication thing. I mean,
It's the new church.
it's just we just don't have.
it is.
I don't think we haven't had it long enough to really understand the full ramifications of it and how it. I mean, there's already data to support that it's largely a negative thing in people's lives. Especially the younger you are, that seems like the more of a problem it is.
Right, like, yeah, well, 100%. I think it's, I remember using it in, high school and stuff. It can be a dangerous place, as far as like threatening stuff like can happen on there. And then you have to like go to school with anxiety, But then again, it's the same thing. If a guy says he's going to kick your ass, then one day
I remember I was listening to an interview a long time ago with somebody talking about the negative effects of like Facebook on teenagers, and a lot of it is because they can never shut off their public persona, and like you said, things will happen on social media that then you'll have to deal with the next day, and it can give people anxiety and stress people out, and they're always on, and they always feel like they have to put up this public facade, because we all do that. We all project some form of ourselves to the public that's probably not the entire truth of who you are, and when you can't ever shut it off, and you're always being judged against something else that's happening on social media, and it can be really unhealthy. And also, if you become the target of like the social media tribe, or of all the people there because they barely know people and they're friends with them on Facebook and stuff, sharing every intimate fucking detail of their lives.
Yeah, I've always disagreed with that. Like, once in a while, it's cool. Something big happens, fine. I get that. Like, it's like, to me, I look at it as more of it's not a journal or anything, but it's like timestamps. Like, hey, this is where I'm at. How you guys doing? That's about it. This is a great picture of me. I mean, sometimes you gotta post a great picture. But it's just, I think it's that instant gratification. We've talked about this plenty of times, but I think it's that everything is so reactionary. Look at the Robin Hood thing. Social media causes it to be such a reaction. Like if they did not come out like in an efficient manner, so it made them look bad. Like they didn't respond to it in an efficient way, so it hurt their reputation, which I'm not saying it shouldn't, because they weren't obviously honest, or they didn't want to like fuck with their investments or whatever. But it definitely fucked with their shit. It's the reaction culture, I think, is really a dangerous part of social media. Like I can go on, like I fucking commented on a Voss thing once, and it was like for weeks. Yeah. Like basically getting replies, and it wasn't like complete bombardment, but the initial was quite considerable. And I was just like, yeah, whatever, But I have all my notifications turned off, like on everything,
because you weren't used to getting that kind of interaction. So then it happens, and your phone is like blowing up.
Oh no! I've had mine turned off.
Oh, you've had your turned off.
No, I never have Twitter. No Twitter notifications, no Facebook notifications, no Instagram notifications, no Facebook Messenger notifications. I've turned it all off. No, like I look at Facebook, honestly, twice a week now.
Yeah, I only use it for Zoobox stuff. I don't really ever use my personal thing. And
then
since we got Signal, I don't even use Messenger really. Yeah,
like that was one of the things that was only keeping me on Messenger anyway, and I do have it, and I check it once in a while just to make sure, if someone's messaged me or something, like get back with them, because not everyone has my number. But that's the only reason, and you can't really trust these industries anymore, these social media sites. So, yeah, Twitter is probably the one I'm on the most. I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's definitely, and probably also not a very healthy thing either. But I have the same thing. I mean, I'm the same way.
I'm just not interacting with. I use it as a information, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, well, I know, but there is a term for it that has been developed in the past couple of years. It's called doom scrolling. It's when you just can't stop scrolling down and just consuming tweets over and over again, just like addicted to just like constantly refreshing your Twitter and constantly scrolling up. I know I do that sometimes. I'm just like bored at night, fucking watching TV or whatever, and I'm just fucking doom scrolling.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess call it doom scrolling. I've always kind of viewed it as like.
Oh, because people are they say that because people are so negative on Twitter. Like everybody's so fucking negative and shitty. It's definitely the most hostile of all the social, like outwardly hostile.
100. But that's why it's almost like a stress relief to me. Like I look at it, I'm like, it feels good that people are like yelling. It's more real than Facebook.
I mean, but everybody's they're autistic. It's fucking like the only real run-in I had was like the Justice for Johnny Depp people.
You don't fuck with Johnny, dude.
And those people, they're just autistic. They don't understand context. They don't like understand like sentences, and they just whatever you have ever said is like they're just going to be like the most negative interpretation possible. Because I was like a moment where I was like, I talk to people in good faith, but no, they're just too like fucking stupid to actually be able to talk to. So it's like, okay, here we go. Now we're gonna just have some fun.
All right, see you, Squibbles.
So I just I went a little hard at some of those people, but they're weird though. They'll take whatever's happened on Twitter. They went and found my Instagram. I had to like lock my Instagram down. They're posting pictures of Foster. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, fucking crazy. And these people are like the hashtag. These are the justice people. These are the people looking out because I made a joke about Amber Heard. Devon Sawa, the actor from Final Destination, retweeted me because I said he was a fucking nerd or something like that. Because he made a dumb RGB joke.
Yeah. I mean, but then again, it's that voluntary interaction. And I'm completely not excusing people, but it goes like, what you're getting into. If you're going for a little troll, like shit can happen. Shit can go sideways.
No, well, I wasn't trolling them. I was trolling Devon Sawa. And people took it upon themselves to, I guess, invade my personal life of things that weren't. I just like, if I ever got in an argument with somebody at Twitter, whether we're trolling, whether we're being serious, whatever, I would never leave Twitter. Like, I would never go look for their Instagrams and their Facebook pages and like, and I would never do that. I would never in a million fucking years do that. But goddamn, those people did for sure.
Well, I think most people would, dude. I think most people are definitely
and I understand, like, of course I understand it's voluntary. It ends up just being funny. I was having fun until I see pictures of my like kid, and I was just like, what the fuck? Really? You guys are fucking creeps.
Yeah, well, it's fucking
Um,
weird.
But
Like honestly, like, do you ever have a problem with like posting your kid on social media?
I don't
Like-
I don't do it very often, honestly. Like every once in a great while. But I mean, I don't
Yeah, but-
have like that big of a problem with it, honestly. Not really. I mean,
You don't think it's like like predators like
Sure,
trolling the internet,
yeah, they
like
could
looking for shit?
hey man, I got a cute kid.
Like I watched the guy Mouthy Buddha, and he was talking about how like there are literally like troves of it's called photo ID, and they photo DNA or something like that.
Yeah.
And they can alter like something, they can do all this like weird shit, and they can like look for kids and like all public profiles and stuff, and they can do like these mass scans, and they'll like use stuff that you would think would be innocent, nothing, not a big deal, and
Sure.
like that they'll get sexual gratification from it. And it just makes
I'd like to find them and get paid if it's gonna be that, if it's gonna be that way,
Yeah.
Might as well get some change, maybe get some put in the college fund.
Well, I mean, I
He's
just
going to
like
private
now,
school. It's expensive.
like that shit scares me. Like if I was a parent, I'd be really worried about like some sicko looking at my kid though.
No, I don't feel like overly paranoid about it. I mean, I don't think my Facebook isn't public anymore, and my Instagram I don't think is public anymore. It was before the Justice for Johnny thing happened, but
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But like there are so many people that aren't making it public. There's so many just weirdos out there and sickos. Like that might have been the first time someone's done that, like posted it. But there have been probably a shit ton of people that.
They were doing it specifically because I followed like some meme pages, and they're like, this guy posts pictures of his kid, and look at these other Instagram things he follows. And I'm not a very big Instagram person, so I probably had followed something. I probably was like hot college girls or something like that.
Right.
And then a lot of and I used to follow like all of the big meme pages, and all the big meme pages all the time sell their fucking thing to fucking models so that they get this instant like 2 million thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I had like 10 of them. I didn't even know. I had no idea. And so they were just trying to say I was like a pervert. I was like, okay, guys. Then I just, then I'm just like, you guys are autistic. I was like, you guys have mental health problems. Like, how could you ever say? And then I got kicked off of Twitter for like a day because of it, because I called people autistic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never do, dude. I didn't even get that crazy in terms of saying like, "Oh, go fuck you, stupid piece of shit." Like nothing like that. I mean, I was just like, you're a creep. You're a fucking creep. You're obviously a fucking autistic. They're like, yeah, I am. It's my superpower. I'm like, okay, buddy. Yeah. I don't know if this is how you utilize your superpowers.
That's better than Zuby getting kicked off for saying, okay, dude. You said that to a transgender person, I guess? It's like, okay, dude.
Oh, yeah, because they have that zero tolerance.
Yeah,
policy for that.
Yeah.
Daniel St. On says, we are neighbors is being masturbated to constantly. Probably. Because they probably 100%. Think he's a child and some sort of get up. Do you have any clean-shaven pictures on there?
Definitely not. Definitely not, dude.
Well,
the beard's coming back. It'll all come back.
Beard work is done very well these days. These kids in these plays, you couldn't even tell they play adults. You ever see like little baby presidents?
Yeah, it's impressive.
They could think it's just that, and they'd be like, "You don't fool me, buddy. You don't fool me, child."
Is this a real video you're about to play that you got over here?
Yeah.
I read it.
This is I just was scrolling Twitter. I was doom scrolling, and I found this. This is breaking. This is from ABC7. I can't believe I'm saying this. A maskless customer was turned away at a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in Pasadena tonight, so he came back with a gun, held up the kitchen staff, and robbed fried chicken, waffles, and syrup. This is per the manager and police. Surveillance video coming.
And this is not real.
And this is the surveillance video. No, this is a verified ABC7 person.
That's probably it.
Here's the surveillance video of the Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle robbery. The guy walks in with a gun.
So I gotta scroll down?
All right, yeah, you gotta scroll down.
Oh, I was wondering. Okay, I'm ready.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Motherfucker be hungry. What's he doing? No shit. Is it Wednesday?
I mean,
he's hungry, dude.
Hungry as fuck. Is
Well,
this the only angle? It is just gonna come out with like a fuck ton of.
He got his chicken. And it looks like he's on his merry way. That was quick.
I mean, I didn't even see a gun. Oh, well, there he is. He's got a gun. Yep. I mean, that's some straight up, like,
Gangster shit.
yeah, that's some real gangster shit. I mean, it's as gangster as you can get, honestly. I mean, if you think about how gangster you got to be to say, sir, you can't eat here without a mask, and to come back with a gun. He's like, how about now? You know, it's kind of like, shit. That's some Denzel Washington shit. That's some Denzel and Training Day shit.
Kind of, yeah.
You know, he's okay, and he walks out. He goes into his car.
Mask.
He fucking, you know, he pulls his gun. He walks back in. He's like, how about now? How about now, motherfucker? Yeah, you know, I can see it, dude. I'll keep calling this shit. You know why I fucking read this? Because it's entertaining. 90% of it's bullshit, but it's fucking something like that.
You gotta see. Okay, you gotta see some of the replies to this. I didn't even see these. Let's see here. This is just some dude replying to this tweet. Charlie Trainer, don't go harass this person. Just came back from a walk in the Pico Fairfax area. Counted 4 maskless people. Screamed at one who explained she was running. Yup, running on a major LA boulevard surrounded by dozens of people. So they would rather go to jail than put a mask on for 20 minutes to get an order of chicken and waffles? Dang, IQs have dropped sharply in the last 4 years.
This is pretty racist.
We sure need our mental health care system upgraded. Reagan destroyed it. Let's put it back together in totally upgraded version.
Yeah, Reagan.
This is the behavior Trump modeled. These are all white people, by the way, saying this.
Do you not realize the guy's black?
No, I'm just saying, a lot of these Karens, these responses, they're all like, you know, a bunch of Karens yelling at people on the street for running by without a mask on. Oh my God.
Oh.
I don't think he would have gotten away with this at Roscoe's Long Beach. They would have defended their chicken for sure. I actually like that one.
That's a good one.
Let me see here. My peoples ain't gonna know Pasadena Roscoe's unclaimed and unconfirmed. Laughed my ass off. That's like going to Mexico for a beef patty. Who would do such a thing? Jesus.
I think it's a fair response. People are sick and tired of the mask bullshit. They're like, fucking feed me, dude. I'm here to just get food. Like, give me my fucking food and let me go about my day. And I'm not blaming the people that work there, but it's like, can we drop the bullshit? Now they're trying to double mask. It's like,
here's some lady. Pam Adams. Mother Earth is displeased. Leadership requires courage. Blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. That's her thing. And she, of course we know the gender, but yes, most likely white. And this guy replied to her, I guess she didn't watch the video.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, it's like this is the whole thing about racial politics and the identity politics stuff. It's so fucking, it's just obscene and disingenuous. It's just ridiculous. Like, I don't even know what to fucking say when people tell me, oh, you don't know what it's like to be black. And I'm like, well, you don't know what it's like to be white.
I mean, yeah, you could say that, sure.
No, they're just like, you don't know what it's like to be black. You don't know what it's like to be white. Well, white people have it easier. I mean, it's your opinion. No, I know it for a fact. I'm like, how? How do you know for a fact? Because I read it somewhere. It goes like, who is a bigger idiot? People who believe in religion or people who believe in science? They're the same. They're basically the same fucking thing.
They're not the same thing. I mean,
yes, they are.
There's badly executed science, and there's good, peer-reviewed, tested out stuff.
No, it's all belief. Like, if you really break it down, if you go, okay, religion is validated by 2,000 years. Let's say Christianity,
of
for
stories.
Example. But it's validated. You can't say that.
How is it valid? What is it?
You can't say that. No. You can't tell me. Like, so you believe science because you were told to.
Dan, like, I understand, like, what you're trying to draw a parallel to.
No, it is literally the same.
Okay.
You have never been to space. You have never. No, like, you're just going all off assumption. You're just going, well, okay, so all these doctors or all these scientists say it's this way, so it is. Versus all these priests and all these theologians say it is this way.
Repeatable experiments that people can do in their own.
It's not about that, but like you can't tell me atoms exist.
No, not everybody
But you
is.
believe it,
not
right?
everybody is an expert in every single thing. No.
But that's the same concept for religion. Like you have to do it all based on faith, on some level that this stuff is true.
Not as
Like,
much
'cause you
faith as I
yourself
have
don't
to.
know.
Not as much faith as I have to have with religion because it's entirely
Why?
predicated on it.
Why?
What do you mean? Why?
Because like people who have studied, like theologically, like Saint Thomas Aquinas, for it's not just stories.
It's philosophy.
necessarily.
It's stories.
Right,
It's
it's
philosophy
it's a way of
couched in
life.
stories, and it doesn't mean they're not valuable, but it's not the same thing.
No, but it is the same thing as far as like you yourself are not an expert, so you yourself have to believe these
Yeah.
things to be true.
I have to believe in certain. Of course, yeah. I'm not like I
Like,
said. No
yeah.
one is an expert on everything, so you cannot go validate or test every single thing. But you should be able to go look up a study and do that if you so
And you can do
choose.
You can do the same thing for religion.
By doing what? How do you? How do
Okay,
you? How do you
you
put it?
shouldn't-
How do
you
you?
shouldn't
how do you
kill
put?
people.
How do you put
Here it
religion
is.
through the scientific hypothesis? How do you
Well,
do
it's
that?
not about putting it through the scientific.
Well, that's what I'm
hypothesis.
talking about. Literally being able to do a
Yeah, but you
repeatable
can't.
experiment.
You can't do it. You can't do it to religion. You
No,
can't
you
put
can't.
science to religion. No, I
don't-
know.
I'm not suggesting that you
We're
can.
talking
I'm
about-
saying
I'm
they're
talk-
completely different things.
No, they are. But I'm talking for you as a person. They
And I-
are the same.
No.
Because you have to go based off of belief because you don't really know. You're going off the
Yo, dude,
appeal
no.
to authority, though.
Yeah, sometimes you have to, and but other times. But what I'm saying is the ability to go and do the repeatable test exists. There is research and studies that I can go read and look at to do that. That is not the case with you know.
If your iPhone breaks, take it to a priest. Yes. No. What I'm saying is like it's all about. It's not about the fundamentals. I'm talking about it's the same logic. It's the same pattern of logic for someone to believe in God. Just like you're being told that it is this way. Like that's all you're doing. It's just literally telling. I'm not saying that science isn't real. Obviously it fucking is. I'm not stupid. But I'm saying it's the same logic pattern. Like I have to believe that this person is telling me the truth.
I know, but the standard, but like if you were ever to doubt, there's different mechanisms to go find an answer.
And same thing with like religion, with theologians and people
what mechanism can I
investigating
go?
and researching it. You have millions of people who believe it throughout the world. You're gonna tell me like that doesn't have some sort of like proof?
No, I don't think
Well-
that makes it true. No.
Okay, then you can say the same thing about. They're all using the same methodology and same exact science.
They're not
to
using the
determine-
same methodology at all.
No, no,
Period. End
well,
of story.
it is-
Incorrect.
What are you talking about? It's how you go about finding things out, right? You have your hypothesis and you do all your bull crap. Like they're using the same method, the science method, right? Scientific method is
For like, what are you talking about? Like what? Like carbon dating? Are you talking about like?
no, just anything. It's the scientific method, right? The scientific method is for science.
I don't know. I don't know if you're just being contrarian or not. Like honestly, I have no idea what
No,
you're
no,
talking
no,
about.
The scientific, like, regardless, they all okay. So you have the guy.
You're
that
saying
came up
because
with
I
math.
can't personally prove it,
No, it's not about person.
so
I'm
I
not
believe it
saying
on
it's-
faith.
Well, you have to. Like, it all comes down to is like technically it was built on pillars of things that were repeatable, right? And it's the same thing with the religion. These things were repeatable for multiple people. People
just took
found like they had good lives. It gave them peace, solace, whatever you want it, comfort.
Sure.
Whatever you want. It's repeatable.
Yeah.
it's,
Well, I mean, that's
you know.
just because, like I said, it's like it's philosophy. Like couched into a structure, a system. It's basically a heuristic for how far mankind had gotten to a
Right.
certain extent, and they're like, how do we not make this information dissipate? Like we have to make it culturally valuable. We gotta have people invest in it. I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, sure, there was some sense of this conversation at the time, or whatever, or however, if it organically did or whatever. But that's what it is. It's not. I mean, I just don't think that they're even remotely the same thing.
Well, I
Again,
just
like I
saying,
said,
it's
like
all-
any type of like scientific experiment, no matter what, like I should be able to go find the research and make it, do it myself.
Yeah, but you can't fucking like there is because that is
I don't-
all based off of certain standards that were set by the people before them.
Damn, that's
Like it's not. I'm not saying science is fake.
I didn't
I'm
say.
saying
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you are.
They're
but
equatable because people
'cause
built
those-
on
yeah, those-
Christianity for decades and generations of people to build something that worked and that was better than the last, right? And to continue it through time.
Sure.
And it's proven through its process, the Christian theological process.
Yeah, but that's not the same thing as fucking just like hard, cold scientific facts about like the world, the objective reality of the world. It's not the same at all.
Yeah,
period.
but when
End of
people
story.
create new theories and new ideas, and then they're repeatable, right? Like they're repeatable.
Yeah.
And then they can be through the scientific method. They can understand that these things are probably more likely to be true. So it's like for a long time, when we talk about like gravitational waves, that was predicted by Einstein.
Mm-hmm.
And he created the concept of gravitational waves.
Okay.
So for a long time, people believed it until they found it.
Yeah, but they were doing work to get there, to try to figure it out whether it was true or not. They weren't just like, it's not.
Well, I know I'm saying, but like there was a point where you have to believe something. Okay, like, hey, we are going to use the scientific method, and if it eventually reaches this conclusion, then we will say that this is the hypothesis is true.
Yeah, that's
and
how
we
you do
repeat
it.
it and repeat it and repeat it.
You
Exactly.
have an idea about something, and then you go about trying to see whether that idea holds up to scrutiny or not.
Exactly, but it still starts with like some sort of belief structure. The entire basis that
No, because you have an entire you have a foundation of all of these other things that have been successful that builds the foundation to like
just like Christianity.
Just like Christianity, yeah, but there's a difference between hard science
Like
and
you're
soft
looking at-
science, sociology.
You're looking at
Do you
it, like,
think
way too literal? I'm just talking about the logic pattern.
there's the logic
Like,
patterns aren't even
The
remotely
repetitive
the same
process
thing?
of religion, like but they do.
They're not.
They both give people comfort. They both make people feel like they're validated in their opinion. You know, they both make people feel like there's bigger meaning to things and that there's more detail.
I'm not.
To the
Yeah,
things
but
that
you're
aren't
just talking about
necessary.
people getting like the same like kind of emotional response out of it. That doesn't mean it's like the same thing.
Oh, then what? It is the same. People replace God in their lives with certain things.
Sure.
And they like that's the whole concept. Like science in itself, or like I'm not talking about like it's the same logic pattern as to why people appeal to it. Because you yourself are not a physicist. You won't be able to go or like look under a molecular microscope and look at quasars or quartz or whatever the hell they're called. Like you'll just never be able to do it.
If I was
you know?
passionate about it enough, I guess I probably could. I could.
I don't know why Sarah's asked me where do we eat fish during Lent. Actually, honestly, I don't know. We're just told not to eat meat because it was a belief structure. I have no idea. I can't even remember. Do you? I mean, you probably know more than me. That's why we don't eat meat.
I have a feeling it has to do with something that's not actually like religious, but I don't remember exactly.
It's probably due to some paganism shit. I'm sure. Probably do go back to pagan,
or some
but
sort of requirement of the time or whatever.
of Judaism or something. Whatever.
No, just like there wasn't
Yeah.
fish during a certain time of the year. There wasn't.
No,
of
you
fish.
can eat fish. You can't eat meat.
Or there was, yeah, or maybe there was some sort of I don't
Yeah,
know.
fish market crashing. The fish market crashing? When why would people be forced to eat meat? What? Why do we eat fish?
It's a typo.
Oh, is not eat or eat? Okay, it doesn't matter. But either way, like exactly. So people needed an explanation. So they used they used religion.
Yeah, but
that's why they
but
created a
yeah,
pattern.
But the religion is not the reason why. Like they did that, they divined that out because like they wanted people to invest in it and actually do it, to give people.
Yeah, but most of our science can be literally.
But there was a literal objective reason. It's not most of our science isn't. Damn, there's theoretical science, of course.
No, but besides like fundamental laws and everything, what is set in actual proven science? Like I don't know. I'm just trying to think. Like what is something that is like absolutely, like most things are not. It's more theoretical. It's more theory. Like evolution. It's not like a settled science.
I mean, just biology in general, the way the world works.
Biology. Well, like I mean, yes, but like there are certain settled laws of science. Like it was the second law of thermodynamics. Like it's something energy, right? You can't make energy from nothing. I can't remember exactly. I was hearing people talk about it, but a lot of things are not finite and absolutely settled science. most science is ever growing, ever evolving.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like, it's a lot of belief.
That's because you'll always learn something new that could change things or augment things, you know?
Well, exactly.
Sure, but that doesn't invalidate everything that came before. It's part of the journey to get there.
But it's not about invalidating it. But a lot of the way it comes to like believing it. Like you have to take a leap of faith to think that, okay, this is what we believe for now. That's why it's called a theory. It's like, this is our basic theory now.
Sure.
You know, so like it's under the all I'm saying is the logic pattern is there. People replace people. Well, that's your perspective, fine.
And that's yours.
Good conversation. Like I get it. Like
Yeah.
I'm just saying that there's. Well, I mean, come on, man. Like you can't. Like you can sit there and be snide. Like it's not gonna do anything.
Well, Dave,
I'm just posing a question. Like just because I'm like, yeah, it's your opinion. It is your opinion. That was just interesting concept. It's all right. Like. It's just like, if you think that's the appropriate response, like, it's not. Like, come on.
We've been talking about this for 10 minutes and have said the same thing over and over again. There's only so much you can say about it.
Fair enough, I guess.
I mean, like, we haven't moved ground in terms of, like, how the other person feels about it.
Well, right. And I'm not, I've acknowledged that science is, but, like, how can you not, you're just refusing to say that people, because you're saying, I can go repeat it. No, you can't. You can't repeat 99% of the shit that you see. Like, there are things that work because of science, like technology. Absolutely. Like, we know it works. Like, that's science.
The standard for religious faith and scientific faith are completely different. They're not the same thing. Granted, does an average person kind of interact with them in a similar fashion? Sure. If that's what your argument is, yeah, they do. That doesn't mean they're the same thing. That's what.
No,
that's
it's the same logic pattern.
My last
same logic pattern. I never said it was the same. It's the same logic pattern. That was my whole argument, the whole time. You can go back and listen to it. It was always about logic patterns.
The logic pattern, yes, I guess in the most broad sense.
Yes. Yes.
And I said the same thing earlier about, like, it's about emotionally. Do people engage with these things in the same way? Sure.
Right.
Is the standard the same? No. Not.
Is the Earth flat?
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree. Yes. No, I'm not. It's not. You're like fucking like Luma Zuma. You're like misunderstanding what I'm saying. I believe in science. But you have to believe in it. Like there is a belief. I believe in science. I think it's real. I think it has validity to it. I believe that it exists. I believe the Earth is flat. Like I know, or all these things. Like some people say, I believe in God, or some people say, I know there's a God. It's all the same conversations. Like two people in religion, when good things happen in their life, they believe that is validity that God exists. So them, that is the proof. To them, that is the scientific, like, repeatable effect. That since their parents were good Christians and they raised good children and so on and so forth. Like, you know, like, that's what the repeatable effect is. And I think that is literally a lot of what people like philosophers has talked about, is like, especially like Jordan Peterson talks about the importance of religion in Western society and what has led us to where we are. Because it's repeatable. And every Western society that has had Judeo-Christian values has generally not been as bad as some other places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're a heuristic for a certain for the knowledge gained, so we don't lose it. So it's actually kind of maintained and repeated because it bores out that it can be positive. It can also, be negative because people can be manipulated by it. But and I guess you could say that the way some people interact with science, they can definitely be manipulated by it. That's why you don't use appeals to authority. That's why you don't.
Well, it's like Luma Zuma said, logic versus faith. Well, I disagree, but I think, logic versus, like, it's a lot, like, under logic is just a process of the mind, right? Like my logical interpretation of, like, logic. That's is that the right definition?
This is what?
Like logic. Like, what is the definition of logic? Like, isn't it Isn't logic, it's like logic versus faith. People have logical reasons as to why they believe in something. Right? Like most of the time. I mean, sometimes you're raised that way, but I'm just curious. Because you believe it's logical doesn't mean it is. It says a proper, reasonable way of thinking about something should sound reasoning. There's no logic in what you said. Okay, I don't know why I said that. Okay, well, that's fair. So, the second definition is a science that deals with the rules and processes used in sound thinking and reasoning. But that is in itself, you know, I guess it's kind of a dual thing there. But logic is soundness. It is. But like to you, science is the soundness. To you, science is if you don't believe in God, then that is your God. Because it's the thing that explains everything in your world for you.
I think it explains most things for most people, whether they realize that or not.
Yeah, but the same thing for religion. Religion does the same thing. It explains a lot of things. What happens after we die.
I can opt out of religious belief. I can't opt out of like what constitutes oxygen. I can't opt out of gravity.
Why can't you?
Okay.
It doesn't.
Then.
No.
Okay, then you can never make. Then you can never. This is like a postmodern argument. Like this deconstruct, decontextualize everything, break it down. Nothing actually means anything.
Well, no, it's not about nothing means anything. I'm just saying. Well, why?
That's our shared objective reality.
It wouldn't cease it from existing. Like it wouldn't cease oxygen from existing if you decided like I just don't believe that.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing for like just because someone doesn't believe in God doesn't mean that everything doesn't exist, because if God is the creator of everything, blah blah blah, you know what I mean? Dan needs a Jamie.
I can't opt out of needing it. I can't opt out of like I don't need to believe in a God. I need oxygen to exist.
So Luma Zuma says logic is science, faith is religion. And yes, I am being deliberately obtuse. Absolutely. I'm not like, sitting here trying to say that it's not, but like it's the same logic pattern. It just is. Like anytime I think about it, like I don't know why my car works the way it does. I assume someone put it together the way it needed to be when I take it to a mechanic, and I can learn how to do those things. Absolutely. You know, but I just kind of put a little faith in it that this guy knows what he's doing, you know? Like that's all I'm saying. It's like it's not trying to be like so literal, but hey, you know, it is what it is. I don't think it's not asking like a crazy question here. Like if I just think logically it could come to that. People could come to that. Like people use science as a religion. People use science to kill millions of people throughout the world because that's what the science told them to do.
Sure. I mean, you could have similar results. It doesn't mean that they're the same thing.
No, but like, dude, literally science has been led to the deaths of millions of, and same thing as religion has led to the deaths of a million people because a certain amount of people believe this to be true. And it has literally a lot of the same knock-on effects because they're so similar. Because all it takes is
there's a difference between, like we said, like but things just something that you can actually means test and something that is a theory or something that somebody just asserts is the truth. Like that's what I just said. I said before, like you should never make appeals to authority, like when you're trying to discuss something or discuss a scientific thing. Like if you can't fucking prove it, that's on you. Like you can't just be like, well, this scientist wrote it or this guy wrote it in a book, so that's where I got it from. You should just believe me. Like that's not sound argumentation. And that's the same thing, you know, when often things can be manipulated and misused. Science is no different. I mean, I think we've seen the past, you know, 18 months, a year, whatever long it's been.
It's like the argument for abortion is absolutely ridiculous. It's inhuman. And we talked about that earlier. It's absolutely
well, we talked about it before. We didn't talk about it today.
No, we used the example earlier when we were talking about how, like, in science, they dehumanize, like, throughout history. And we did talk
eugenics.
Yeah, like eugenics. The same arguments to kill Jews were the same. Well, like not all literal arguments, but it's the same. Is Kevin Smith a good director? It's opinion.
No.
And you can't tell me that biologically.
No is the right answer. Right? No is the correct answer.
Kevin Smith, what? You know, Kevin Smith is all right. But you can't. It's reprehensible, literally. Abortion is murder. Like it just is. Like we can play games all day. Like no, you're taking something that was going to be born and getting rid of it. But we want to give all these little fucking side avenues to it, you know? Oh, Tusk, dude, all day. I like Tusk. But it's literally like, come on. Like, it's dehumanizing something. It's taking, like, and this is what science has led to. The murder of, like, 25 million or whatever it's been. That's science.
No,
It's
well,
just
you
as
can.
bad as religion.
You just make the argument it's the bad science or manipulation of it. It's not science.
Yes, it is.
There's no such thing as like.
That they teach people that it's not a living person.
You think people can't teach bad science?
No, it is, but that's my.
Or
Why is
people
it bad
can't-
science? all
People
of a
can't
sudden?
use things to be manipulate something. I mean, I
Yeah.
think there's an argument to like about like what it is or what it isn't. Like, you know, they try to rationalize in different ways, I guess.
Yes.
But I don't know.
Well, it's like, and that's what I'm saying. That's Illumizuma. Okay, it's a belief system argument. Yes, they're the same. Like, to me, they're the same structures. But they, like, science and religion have killed endless amounts of people throughout history, for sure.
Okay.
Like, for sure, because they have the same structure. Like, I think that's a good way.
What would you? Okay,
right.
let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
If you had to get rid of one and keep the other, which one would you keep?
If I had to get rid of one,
So, would you like to learn more about the natural world, or would you like to learn more about, I don't know, philosophy and faith?
well, I mean, science in itself is, you know, a lot of it's theoretical, so it's not necessarily.
What is the goal of it? A lot of philosophy is theoretical.
Well, all of it. All of it is. I think that is a fair. It's an interesting question. Obviously,
what
without.
what is
hold
mo-
on, I'm thinking, dude.
Okay. I was
Thinking.
just gonna add a little.
Well, I mean, like, it's obvious. Without religion, the question is this: would there be a moral guiding light without religion? Right? Like, would there be a natural morality? I'm not saying that it doesn't. I guess I think they're the same. So, like, if you took away science, and then faith would just use it to explain things. Like science, that would be the science.
Yeah, we already did that. That's like when
Yeah.
the back with the Greeks and stuff. And this wasn't
Yeah.
for everybody, but it was for your general populace. They'd be like, "Oh, a thunderstorm. Well, that's this
So
god."
are we talking about like, but like this is the question then? So like without faith-based, like quote unquote faith, like religion, you take all of it away. Fine, let's say we get rid of religion, and we're left with science, which is still like a religion.
We become very utilitarian.
Which no, that's ridiculous. People fight over all sorts of bullshit.
Yeah, why?
Like all the time, like
How
different
does-
theories, different methods.
How
and-
does being utilitarian discount any of that? Utilitarian just means you're gonna actually be worse for people. It'd be worse for humanity because like your value would not be inherent, and
Well, that's
it would
what they
all
would
be
use.
just about product and progress.
Well,
and
Well, that is literally what science. There is different levels of science as far as what people will use, like psychology is still science. That's a social science, but again, that has to be lumped in.
well-
But philosophy. So like philosophy could still keep people grounded, which would just create what? A religion. Like I don't think that's possible.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
those things ended up developing.
Right, but like the whole point, the philosophy of Christ is modern Christianity, you know, building off the fundamentals and the foundation of Judaism. Like it had to come from somewhere. And science started, you know, with fucking like guys like, hey, I'm gonna make up something. Like I'm gonna make up this is number 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. And that was really interesting to see throughout all societies. That was pretty common. Like numbers are a pretty good way to communicate. And like that was pretty, like this always meant, like, you know what I mean? Like they figured it out. Like numbers have always been pretty consistent.
Well, they had to literalize something abstract, so we developed
Yeah.
math and numbers and all
right,
that kind of stuff.
right.
But
And then they built upon that, you know?
sure, and they were now it's able to function in a various different ways. But I don't know.
Dan equals at the very beginning. Yeah, at the very beginning. But it just goes, I think that like science is obviously an amazing, useful tool. I think religion is a amazing, useful tool. I think over putting yourself into either one is probably going to be bad for you. Like over belief in science, because it can lead you to be, would you say, utilitarian and cold,
Yes.
you know, like being like this, like there is no scientific basis, like biological, quite like, right? I can be mean, I can be cold. There is no biological scientific basis that actually says transgender people are real. There's no biological actual thing, right?
No. So?
Exactly. So it's a belief to a certain extent.
Yeah, and this is a very contentious issue.
Yeah.
There's no clarity on that.
No, but that's what the whole discussion we had in the beginning about transgender athletes being, you know, because they believe they're a woman and they act as a woman and they partake in maybe some of the same social choices that maybe some women take.
Mm-hmm.
So they should denied womanhood based off of science.
No, because
like
just
biology.
I mean, because some of the stuff you're talking about is just like the social construct part of it.
Well, what takes more precedence, biology or social construct? I guess that's the nature versus nurture argument, I guess.
Well, it depends. Like, we're talking about how you should treat a person versus what they are.
I guess it comes down to content of character, you know, as MLK would say. Don't judge me by the color of my skin. Don't judge me because I'm a Christian. Don't judge me because I like Trump. Don't judge me because I like Biden or whatever. Just treat me for the content of my character, which is where I think we're so lost. And I think science has played a role in that, where like psychology and all this stuff has been manipulated, which Abigail Schreier in her book describes, which is, you know, I hope a reliable book, right? Is that appeal to authority though? Do I just have to go off her word?
If what you're trying to do is like, if you're having a conversation with somebody and you try to basically say, I'm right because she wrote this, then yes. But like, if you were to say, you know, this is a resource that I like got some of these ideas from, you should check it out, or you can go look more into it yourself so you can be more well versed on the topic. You know, those things are supposed to be just to help you formulate your own ideas, not necessarily like pull it out and be like, yo, see what it says here? This means it's right. It's in this fucking book.
Well, yeah, it's just like the peer pressure, you know, like the basic social, the basic mind, like the subhuman or the like what's not like the subconscious mind, you know, the social pressure to not even tell the truth, to lie.
Sure.
As Jake Tapper would say, the big lie. You know, like that is what the psychological department or they've literally chosen faith. They've chosen an ideological perspective over science.
Yeah, a lot of them have, yeah.
And that's where...
But that's why it's very contentious. Like, there is, like, an internal battle that's going on, for sure. But, you know, those are
just
more...
like theologians and religion.
Yeah, but the effect is not going to be the same, though. Like, the effect of it isn't
shit,
the same.
dude. You ever heard of cults, bro? You're going to tell me L. Ron Hubbard and fucking, like, Scientology? That's a pretty big... It's pretty big, or Mormonism, like those are all different theological perspectives about what happened, or you know what I mean? Like it's
no, what's happening in the sciences right now is not a good thing, and it's not something that should be promoted, or it's not something we got to get back to this kind of really
that makes
cold hard facts type.
How
thing.
do we know the Earth is really round, Sean? No.
Well, I know it's not round. It's a
sphere. It's a globoid or a spheroid or whatever. It was that like obliquoid or something weird.
It's a concave.
Concave. Lord Stephen Christ. He's still on Twitter, amazingly. He's still out there.
Who?
I haven't seen him in a couple days. I wonder if he's still around.
What, Lord Stephen Christ? Yeah, I don't know. I see him on Twitter. I just don't. Is that him? Is that one of his boys? I don't know.
Luma Zuma, Dan lives in a state with the lowest education rate in the country. It's just true. This is true. 100%. It's taken on its toll.
They don't believe in science over there. It's crazy. Look, Dan's lived there for like a year and he's been indoctrinated.
Yeah. No, hey, listen, man. I think it's all real, but it's fake.
I'm just asking questions, brother.
Yeah. Like, at least I'm not like the Black Hebrew Israelites, you know? Jeez. Like, that is like...
That's faith. Okay, buddy, that's belief.
That is beyond faith.
That's science.
It's something else. Yeah, it's a science. Like, that's what they believe, though. Like, they literally believe that, but like it's the fucking most hardcore truth.
Crazy shit all the time.
That's like, okay, so we're talking about like the psychology has been manipulated through peer pressure. We literally saw fucking, what are they called? The fucking goddamn people and diseases. I can't remember what they're called. Fauci's one of them. And the CDC
What,
coming out.
epidemiologists?
Yeah, epidemiologists, and like the CDC and all these people coming out and saying you can't, like, it's okay to protest during a pandemic when you couldn't go to church.
I know. Yeah, it's
Like-
obviously
like-
stupid.
It's
It's obviously not good.
that is why science is a religion.
Yeah, but
Because
that's
people literally said, okay, I believe this because the CDC told me so. Like if the Pope says you can't eat fish or whatever, or you can't eat meat. Like it's like for what reason is there except that they were just told it?
you could just go in through a period of time where people, like we said before, kind of emotionally interacting with it in a similar way, you know?
I'm just saying, dude. Like it's all
I
a
think
fucking sham.
across
Like,
the board, it does not require faith to believe in a lot of things. I mean, it's just like some things, sure, because we don't.
it's like, but I don't need science to fucking breathe. Okay. I may need.
No, but you can help you.
medicine
It
and
helps you
science.
understand. It can
Why the
help you
fuck do I give a
understand
shit
why it
what's made
works.
of Fucking H2O and shit. That's water or whatever. I don't know what's carbon and fucking whatever else is in the air. You know, but like I don't need to know. You know, like I don't need it. It doesn't make a difference to my life if I know these things or not. Yeah, you may look stupid, right? A lot of the time, but it doesn't matter. It's like if a guy who's like mentally challenged, you know,
It does matter.
like if you know that guy lives his life, dude. He eats Twinkies because they exist. He doesn't think about what
He's
the
hungry.
Twinkies, you know. He just says, "There's a fucking Twinkie, dude," and I'm hungry. But I think it's good to ask those questions. So that was fun.
Lumazuma says, "Will Star Wars be retconned?" Sarah says, Star Wars already was," which is the truth.
Are you
The
talking
damage
about like
has been done.
over?
No, there's like if you go,
No, you're talking about start over from the sequel, the sequels.
there's been not real true rumors, but there's been people that are suggesting they're going to do like a
WandaVision?
soft. No, that's Marvel.
Oh yeah, fuck.
They're gonna do like a soft retcon of the prequel trilogy, or not the prequel, the sequel trilogy, and kind of erase.
Mandalorian.
Get
That's
a-
what I hear they're gonna do.
Get
That's
away,
what I meant.
get away from like Rey, get away from Finn. You're never really gonna see that stuff again.
Honestly, they lost like one of the coolest fucking things ever. Finn could have been a fucking goddamn Jedi. Like he could have fucking been.
Or he
like, that
could have
would've
at
been a
least
cool
been like
story.
a traumatized fucking stormtrooper, at least for more than 2 seconds.
Ah, dude, that fuck. No, listen.
No, but that would have been the
The
coolest thing
biggest
if you got
shit show.
a guy that is like taken as an orphan and
Star
forced
Wars
into
is
slavery and to
Already
be.
the worst.
I'm trying to talk. Trying to make him. Oh, whatever. He's taken from an orphan. He becomes a stormtrooper. He ends up being part of the revolution or the resistance, and whether or not that means he becomes a Jedi, you could do that. But I think that would have been a way more interesting kind of trajectory, other than trying to make him be like shitty Han Solo. Because then he couldn't, because Poe was there, who was also like Han Solo. So they had just like this negative feedback loop where they just couldn't ever like have an identity. It was very weird.
Yeah. Star Wars always sucked. Always. The only good one is Empire Strikes Back. We've talked about this plenty of times. I can't stand them.
Yeah, but I don't know what they're going to do in the future. I don't really care, honestly. I've been kind of checked out of most of that stuff.
The Mandalorian season 2 was okay.
I
It
watched
was okay.
I watched it.
It was pretty good. It was better than season 1. It was better than season 1.
Yeah,
for
season
sure.
2 was better than season 1, yes.
Like it was better, definitely than season 1. It was more enjoyable. I liked the characters more. Bill Burr was funny, but it's still not. I don't know. I think Star Wars is kind of just lame, like kind of like Lord of the Rings. Like garbage. Actually, I watched them again recently. They're pretty good. They're pretty damn good.
They are.
They're pretty good. If I had to choose a franchise, so if you chose a franchise, Star Wars or Lord of the Rings,
For me personally, I would...
all of them.
Well,
You lose all the Star Wars.
yeah, I'd probably go
Or
Lord
all of
I would probably go Lord of the Rings.
So you gotta keep the Hobbit. Damn.
Yeah, but the
counts.
like the extended editions of Lord of the Rings are so good that like it kind of I don't ever need to watch The Hobbit.
That's what I'm telling you. Star Wars is not that great, dude. It's nostalgia.
No, I think there's like in the same reasons why Lord of the Rings works. There's like
How
kind of
about
this basic archetypal hero's journey that people respond to, and it has good characters. And
So
once they got away from
the
that,
Alien
that's
series
when it
or
went
Star
down.
Wars.
The Alien series or Star Wars?
Yeah.
I'd probably go Aliens.
Yeah, you would. Okay. I'm trying to think, because like I'm telling you, Star Wars is not good. It's just not good.
I don't think it's bad. It's just not always it's not my favorite thing.
It's just trash. It's just trash. It's so trash, dude. What's another, like, okay, the 2 Blade Runner movies are all of Star Wars. I already know the answer. You're picking Blade Runner, 100%.
That would be tougher.
You would pick Star Wars over Blade Runner?
That'd be tough. There's only one good Blade Runner movie.
2049 is not bad. What are you fucking talking about?
Okay. It's
fun.
for incels. That's because you're an incel, Dan. That's why you love that
fun.
movie.
I like it. I think it's good. Also, have you seen The Good Little Things? The Little Things?
Yeah, I watched The Little Things.
I give it a 7.
It's like a what I would call a
7.
pleasantly mediocre movie from 1997. That's what it felt like.
And that's where it took place, I think, around that time.
1990, yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty okay. See, there you go, Sarah. That's what I'm saying. Back to the Future or Star Wars.
Star Wars.
That's a good one.
Star Wars.
Really?
Yeah.
Over Back to the Future?
Yeah.
100%. Since I don't really care about Star Wars, I would probably pick Back to the Future 1 and 2 are great though. Like those are fantastic films.
No, they're good movies, yeah.
3 is whatever. But you got 2 better movies than any of the Star Wars.
3 is okay in context if you watch it like as a trilogy. If you like binge it, then 3 is okay.
Yeah.
But just to watch it on its own is a little jarring. But
okay. What's another one? Let's see. Okay. How about this? How about like maybe like the Akira, like those anime directed by that guy?
He's only done a couple animes.
Exactly. Or Star Wars?
Probably Star Wars.
Then Akira?
Yeah, I mean, if it's all of Star Wars and just Akira, yeah. I love Akira.
No, like Akira and like all the other movies he made. I don't know. Or whatever, like that genre. Okay, fuck, I don't know. I don't know anything about anime, so.
How about Satoshi Kon? Satoshi Kon. I would pick the films of Satoshi Kon over, or Kon, however you pronounce it, over Star Wars. He did Perfect Blue, Paprika, the show called Paranoia Agent. That's really good. I got his whole collection, dude. Millennial Actress.
Harry Potter series of Star Wars. I already know Sean's gonna pick Star Wars.
Star Wars over Harry Potter.
Yeah.
What about
Harry
you?
Potter. If it was the movies, I'm definitely picking. I would pick Harry Potter, but I don't even like the movies. That's how much I hate Star Wars. Like I would rather have to watch Harry Potter all over again.
You like the movies? Don't lie.
When I was a kid, yeah.
And you watch them now, Dan. You'd probably be like, it'd probably warm you up.
No, it's more of the infatuation because I was younger, I was reading the books.
Yeah, I know.
And the movies were, so that was more infatuation. After 4, you know, the books just got too big. I mean, the 4 was, you can't fit it all in there.
I would say Goblet of Fire is the last one that's like good.
That's like the one that was like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You know, fuck yeah. But then, hey, the first one's pretty good. It's a good kids movie. Harry Potter definitely over Star Wars. I'm trying to think of the famous. Okay, Sean, the 2 seasons of Firefly or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Over Firefly?
Over Firefly? Yeah. There's only one season
in
a movie.
Or one season, whatever. Yeah. You know, I'm just thinking. I'm harking.
Yeah, I wouldn't even. Not even a question.
Battlestar Galactica, the entire series.
Or Star Wars? Probably have to go Battlestar.
Dude, I kind of always digged it. It's a horrible ending.
Yeah, the show's good though.
It's okay.
Like I don't think the show ever. I think the execution on the ending is bad rather than the content itself.
Okay. So you gotta remember, Sean, these will never exist. So we just gotta keep this in context. The entire Transformers series or Star Wars.
Star Wars.
You're a fucking idiot.
Why?
You're an idiot.
Why?
Because do you know how much enjoyment you get out of hate watching those movies?
There's like 5 Star Wars movies that I can hate watch.
No, not on the level of Transformers.
The sequel trilogy, I watch them and I can't stand it, and I'm just like, I like to get all mad.
Dude, it's the worst. They're so boring.
Look at
honestly, they all suck, dude. They all suck except Empire Strikes Back. Everyone knows it's the best one.
No.
And The Force Awakens, whatever, and Hope, like A New Hope, but they're basic. They're just nothing cool. Empire Strikes Back is like got balls. It's fucking fun. It's interesting. There's sexual energy. kind of a love triangle shit going on. People fuck one of the greatest lines ever delivered in cinema history. When Carrie Fisher says to Han Solo or to Harrison Ford, "I love you," and he goes, "I know." Like, that is some of the most I get chills thinking about it. That is the most baller shit you could ever say before you're about to get fucking loaded into a freezer. Like,
yeah,
Haagen-Dazs.
for sure. It's a great cinematic moment.
But that's it. It's done. Nothing else good in Star Wars. All stupid.
I think it's good.
This
It's
is all
just
done.
it's just an archetypal hero's journey, and it executed well. Like the original trilogy, other than stuff on
Okay.
Endor, I don't really like Return of the Jedi because
I
of the
think-
Endor stuff. But
If you want to talk about archetypal, Harry Potter is a better archetypical story. Okay.
it's the
Like,
same.
it's more
story.
interesting.
Dan, it's literally this. Actually, I would say Star
Huh.
Wars has the edge, because Star Wars has this like saving component at the end, where it's like the Jordan Peterson thing about like gotta go to the depths of hell and save your father's soul or whatever, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what Luke Skywalker does. He reclaims, and
Yeah.
that's why the movies, the prequel or the sequel trilogy, fucks up Luke Skywalker's journey.
Well, I mean, but yeah, because he becomes a disgruntled retiree or something. I would say I disagree, because technically his parents' like souls are kind of trapped because of Voldemort. Like, he kind of he does.
Whatever, nerd.
That's why they
some
keep
nerd
coming
shit.
back and shit. Like,
Some
they keep
nerd
talking
shit,
to him.
dude.
You know, they're kind of trapped.
Gotta
in that
use
plan.
your silver, whatever.
Yeah.
Go. What are you? I'm a steer or whatever the fuck is. What are you, a stag?
Stag.
Yeah.
A stag. Yeah. You know.
The Patronus? Is that what it was? Is
The
there a
Patronus spell, dude. Very well. Very good. Very good. Very good.
And he goes like this, and he's
Um,
like, "That's your dad, Harry."
Okay, so if you had to pick, I'm trying to think. I really do think Transformers would be more fun to have. Like, more Transformers would be like such a shit movie. They're so shitty.
They're awful, dude. They're just mind-numbing. Sarah says that is actually Joseph Campbell, not Jordan Peterson. Yeah, I know that. I was doing an imitation of Jordan Peterson because he would say that.
Well,
constantly.
the Gulag, Burger
You
King.
gotta
That's
go
still one of the
down.
best. That's still one of the best videos. I sometimes I just put that on just to make myself laugh.
Yeah, me
The
too.
Burger King Gulag thing. That's a good one. Okay, Sean, that clip of the Gulag, or never hear it again. You'll never even like hear it again. Or Star Wars.
Star Wars. We have to go Star Wars.
Come on, Sean. That's a classic. Okay. The entire series of what was that? The Kids on the Block? The Whitest Kids You Know or something? I don't know. The Whitest Kids You Know or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
I'm running out of shit.
I mean,
man.
like, the
The entire series of Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Star Wars?
I'd probably go Buffy, actually.
Buffy would be pretty fun.
I'd probably go Buffy.
I tried a couple of years ago. Not even now. I was like 6 months ago. I'm like,
You gotta skip the first season.
you gotta skip like the first 3. When they get to college, then it's like, okay.
Daniel St. Ange
Yeah.
wants to know Animal Passions or Star Wars. Well, fucking Animal Passions, because that shit will stay with me forever.
That shit is.
It's like two souls touching, even if just for a brief moment. You can actually feel the souls touch.
Well, when a mare has an orgasm or a maregasm,
Yeah, I call
as
it
I
a
like to
Maregasm.
say, that is so.
That guy is the
up.
best dude, though. That guy is the memeable thing.
Sean, I have a question. Is that faith or is that science?
That's
'cause there's
science,
no
baby.
logic. There
That's
is
science.
no-
He felt
there
it.
is no
He went in there
logic.
and he tested it. He had a hypothesis. Will I
Like-
touch this animal's soul with
like-
my dick? And the answer was yes.
Yeah, yes.
Repeatable.
That's yeah, it's just like you just look at it. Yep, people will literally believe whatever they want. Like, it just doesn't matter. Science, faith, it's like fucking horses, and they like it.
I see animals as a spiritual beings first. So
Yeah.
whenever I think about what their wants, their desires, what they want to feel good with their bodies, like you're like Jesus Christ, dude. Opinion
it's-
on movie Stalker? Is it? Do you mean Stalker Lumazuma or Stalkers? Because I don't know Stalkers, but I know a movie called the Russian movie Stalker, which is very good.
Are you doing your review of The Little Things, or whatever?
Yeah, probably.
doing-
I mean,
okay,
we
you
can talk.
need to.
We can talk about it now.
I'm just telling you, I liked it. I'm not saying I loved it, but I liked it.
Matrix trilogy or Star Wars? Probably go Star Wars.
Yeah, honestly, that might be the one I do pick over. I might pick Star Wars over The Matrix. That's just trash. Not even good.
Yeah,
Okay.
the movie Stalker Luma is one of my favorites. You know, I actually only saw it for the first time like 3 or 4 years ago, but I actually really like it. I bought it. And watched it.
Christopher Nolan films, entire collection, or Star Wars.
Christopher Nolan.
100%. Tenet.
Tenet.
Reps.
One word. Tenet.
Tenet. Yeah, that's such a fucking band. That's such a good movie. I actually just hate the woman that's in it. She's the only thing I don't like.
What, Debicki or whatever?
Yeah. Whatever. Do you know what people are naming? Just a quick little tidbit. The secretary, the press secretary, they're nicknaming her Chucky.
Yes,
Like,
I've
if
seen
they don't
that,
want to say
yeah.
her name, that's just fucking hilarious. But anyway, yeah, The Little Things.
So The Little Things is the movie that
Remy
was
is good.
just dropped on HBO Max. It's like
Yeah.
the day and date with theater thing. Stars Denzel Washington, Jared Leto, Rami
Yep.
Malek.
I love him, dude.
He was so weird. But
I
yeah.
like him though.
No,
I like his.
no
like,
major spoilers, but we can talk about it though.
No major spoilers. Okay.
I mean, really, there's only one big
There-
thing
yeah,
to
there-
spoil,
yeah,
and it
that's
doesn't
true.
matter. We don't have
That's
to
true.
say it.
Yeah, that doesn't even. Honestly, kind of a letdown. Not. Yeah. Okay. I give it a 7. Like, I actually enjoy the movie. Like, I watched it and I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it's 7 level. Like, you know what I mean? Like 7. Like, you know. Or it kind of gave me Prisoner vibes in a weird way.
Like the tone
With-
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prisoners is way better.
Prisoners is a great movie. I love that movie. But it gave me that same sense. Like that same feeling. Even though, I don't know. I enjoyed it though. I thought it was fine. I don't know. Denzel was good. I liked Remy. I like it was because I had just watched The Pacific.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is he in the Pacific?
yeah, he
Oh,
plays
is
a
he?
pretty major role in it actually. He's pretty good. He's great in that. He's good. He's really good at playing people that like are fucking cracked out or like just like zoning out. Like I don't know.
I thought
He's
he
got them
was
big buggy eyes.
I thought he was wildly miscast in The Little Things. It was like watching an alien try to act like a regular person.
He would have been probably a good bad guy.
Yeah, I
Honest.
guess. I mean, he's the new James Bond
Jared
bad
Leto's
guy.
good though. Jared Leto's good.
Yeah, he gives a weirdo Jared Leto performance where he's like very actor man, but it was fine.
Like, is he Mexican? Like, I don't know. Like, I was
Ooh.
thinking that. I was like, is he Mexican in this movie?
Yeah,
is he
got-
Hispanic?
Yeah, kind of a weird like racially androgynous kind of
Yeah.
vibe to him. Yeah.
Because he definitely has some sort of like his nose has something going on. Obviously, prosthetic nose.
Yeah, and
I'm like-
eyes too.
And
Yeah.
like the way they made the beard was not like super thick. It's like you don't see Hispanics like usually. Like sometimes like you see that wispy kind of beard.
Mhm.
Like a really hairless Hispanic trying to grow a beard. That's what it looked like. But I thought the tension with Denzel was pretty good. Like what the fuck is like I'm not gonna
It's-
spoil anything, but
I think
Ah.
the problem with the movie is the fact that it's kind of like this really like feels really anticlimactic and very like it feels like the possibilities are just there for anything to happen for like the first 2/3 of the movie. And
I
when
like that.
I was hoping that it was going to be just like darker and weirder, and it ended up being just much more of like kind of a standard drama character piece.
I read about what happened. They ran out of money, so like they couldn't do what they wanted.
Like
I
if you watch
guess.
the trailer for that, it looks like it's almost going to be like a supernatural thriller. Like he's talking to dead bodies and shit. It's like, oh no, he's just a detective.
I thought like Denzel was good in it, but Denzel's good in whatever he does.
Yeah,
He
Denzel could phone it in. He kind of phones it in, but he's still
yeah,
good.
he does. He definitely does phone it in. But I like Remy a lot. I actually like him as an actor. I like him as an actor, and I thought him playing like I guess you could say the Boy Scout, which is what his character is.
Yeah.
It was a little off. It was a little clunky. I'll give you that.
He does not naturally lend himself to that type of character. So like, and I just don't think he just couldn't do it. I don't think he can do it. It's like, go watch a Gary Oldman movie from like the late 80s, early 90s when he's like playing like a lawyer, like a regular guy in over his head. He's like a psycho. He can't do it. his whole body is contorting like he wants to fucking rip out of his skin to do a weird Gary Oldman thing. And he's like trying to be a normal guy. You're like, oh, why are you smiling at the person?
It's like Nicolas Cage. You just can't help it, dude. He's trapped in the forever cycle of self-abuse.
I mean, I thought it was fine. Like it was like I said. I think it's like if you like kind of '90s era, like kind of mediocre thriller movies, if that you just enjoy those, like something like The Bone Collector, another Denzel Washington movie. It's kind of on par with that.
He doesn't phone it in though. He doesn't phone it in.
It's kind of, I would say it's on par with something like The Bone Collector.
That's fair. That is I think that's a good representation.
Yeah.
If you can put it on, you're going to get some enjoyment out of it, but it's not life-changing.
When I had COVID, I literally watched like 20 movies that are just like this from the 80s and 90s.
Oh,
like,
so you're a little flushed.
No, it's just it is something that is born out of a very like specific formula. Like they're all based on a book that your grandfather would read on the beach, like during the summertime, like where you'd pick up at an airport, like those Dean Koontz thrillers and stuff,
which were popular, like Double Jeopardy.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Perfect example. Or Kiss the Girls, even.
Kiss the Girls.
It's not as
that was also with Jude, whatever, right?
Ashley Judd, yeah.
Ashley Judd, yeah, and Morgan Freeman. Such a fucking like the '90s were a really weird time.
It was a good time.
Look, cause like I'll go on HBO Max and I'll just be looking. Like you go to A through Z, and sometimes I'll scroll, and some of the fucking you'll see these really obscure late '80s, early '90s. Movies with like famous actors.
Yeah.
You're like, I've never.
Dude, the best place for that is Amazon Prime. They got the most like things you've never heard of. And you're like, holy, like I was saying it before. Like Gary Oldman is in this movie called Criminal Law, it's Gary Oldman and a young Kevin Bacon, and Kevin Bacon's the serial killer, and Gary Oldman's like the regular guy. He's the lawyer.
Yeah.
And the whole movie you're just like. Like this should be totally switched.
Yeah.
Let's catch up with the chat a little bit.
Saw an anthology of Star Wars.
Halloween.
What's
anthology?
more fun?
I'd rather watch Halloween.
Saw.
Well, before that, he has Halloween.
Oh.
Up top here, I would go Halloween, and then I would probably go. I'd go Star Wars over Saw. Saw just gets just peaks and valleys.
I'm not good into gore. I'm not a big fan of gore personally. So.
Sarah says the best Denzel is Flight. Good performance in a bad movie. Best Denzel was The Man Apart.
Mm-hmm.
The Man Apart. What is it?
That's are you talking about Man on Fire? Is that what you were talking about?
Or the Spike Lee one? Or the one when he's like the bank heist with Clive Owen? The Inside Man?
That's The Inside Man, yeah. I don't know if I've seen The Man Apart. You should watch Virtuosity.
Yeah, you want to see some classic Denzel. Get up Virtuosity, Russell Crowe. Lumazuma says, geez, Bone Tomahawk, what the fuck? Dude, Bone Tomahawk is one of my modern favorites. I love Bone Tomahawk. I love S. Craig Zoller. The director is great.
That's a good one. Best Denzel was Fences, actually. Wish she would finish the cycle.
The cycle is... What
is the all fucking laundromat? What do you mean?
No, there's a series of plays.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. Actually,
I'm not that into black culture, Sarah.
One of the more recent Netflix movies, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, was it Chadwick Boseman's like last movie, is actually based on the same writer.
Yeah, I think he says it's the bodyguard for the little girl. I think that's Man on Fire.
Yeah, that's Man on Fire.
Yeah. Look, Dakota Fanning. Some shit, right?
Yes.
Is that the one he's in Mexico? Or is that a different one?
No, that's Man on Fire. It's Tony Scott.
So good.
Tony Scott, because they did a bunch of movies together. They did Deja Vu. They did.
Oh, that's pretty good too.
Unstoppable.
I bet they did Manchurian Candidate. It just has that vibe.
No, that's Jonathan Demme.
That's a good movie though. I actually like that movie. It's okay. It's not amazing. Fences is okay. It's pretty good, you know. I didn't hate it.
I don't know. Denzel's like just very solid. Like he's definitely like, if you go watch something like Virtuosity, where you're like that's actually kind of a bad performance because he just doesn't know how to do that movie. But
it's a weird movie, dude. That's just a weird movie. Russell Crowe's.
Well, it's kind of like
nobody's good in it.
It's trying to have the same tone as like Demolition Man, but not doing it, not being able to do it. It's not fun in the same way.
Ryan is fucking annoying the shit out of me. So like, I have to go pick up a package, right? You know what I'm saying? For this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And like, he constantly like, you good? You good? I'm like, dude, like it's taken a little time to negotiate, you know, and set things up. And he's like, fucking like every time, like tomorrow. I'm just gonna be like, tomorrow now. Because I don't want him to feel like I'm lying to him, you know? I'm like trying, you know?
Yeah.
I just don't have like I always got it from a mutual, you know, from a mutual friend, and now that we don't live near each other, now like I'm trying to navigate these waters.
Gotcha.
Breaking Bad or Dexter? Breaking Bad, 100%.
Yeah, Breaking Bad, not even a question.
Not even question.
I did never finish Dexter either, though. Luma Zuma says Romeo plus Juliet. Yeah, I actually really like that. Baz Luhrmann, second feature film, I believe. I actually watched what is it called? The Great Gatsby. Not too long ago. Gonna be a Zoobox Goes to the Movies about the book.
Original or DiCaprio?
The one with DiCaprio. Sarah and I are gonna talk about the book and both of the movies, or two of the
Scott
movies.
Fitzgerald,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
The one that got where he fucking put his wife in like a mental hospital or some shit.
Yeah.
Did he do that?
Yeah. She was crazy.
Oh shit, that's fucking hilarious. How is she crazy?
She has problems. Emotional.
Manchurian Candidate?
Probably. She was
broken?
activated. Probably worked for the CIA.
I just like, how do you end up marrying a mentally challenged person?
No, not mentally challenged.
That's technically mentally challenged if you're crazy. It's perversion.
She was, it was at the time. People that were crazy.
Oh, he married her for money, so he knew that she was fucked up. Like
Possibly.
he knew it.
Possibly.
I mean, dude, shit. When you're a writer and you don't have to worry about money, that's pretty sick. You know? He's like, fuck it, let it ride. Breaking Bad, Dexter went too long. I don't think Breaking Bad went too long. I think maybe a season too long for Breaking Bad. I'll give you that. But Dexter went like 3 seasons too long.
Yeah, Dexter ran out of gas like halfway through. I think I stopped watching around like season 5. I was just
I finished it because I had never finished it. So I went back like a couple, I think I stopped at like season 5, whichever the one from the fucking dude from Third Rock from the Sun, isn't it?
I think that's season 5.
Yeah, it's like
4
season
or 5. That's like I think the last one I watched was one with Jimmy Smits. Isn't that
whenever that guy smokes somebody, I don't want to ruin it for anybody. Well, fuck it, you guys are listening. When he smokes his wife or whatever, and that's the last episode I remember really, because I tried the next season when it was that young chick. Like they kind of become like buddies.
Oh yeah.
She was abused.
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah.
Like she was abused and like kidnapped or whatever by a sicko.
And then
Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And he's like teaches her and shit. Yeah, it's fucking stupid. It's like so dumb. At least the season before that with the guy from Third Rock. What is his name?
Jonathan Lithgow.
Yeah, Lithgow.
That was the last good one that I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was actually like, because it made you go, oh fuck.
I actually probably
this guy's got a
watched.
family.
Maybe I watched more than I think I did, and then I just kind of forgot. Because I think the one after that is Jimmy Smits, and then there's. Yeah.
Oh wait, the Mexican guy.
Yeah.
The Hispanic. Yes, that is the next. Then
Or Cuban.
it's the.
I think he's Cuban. Yeah.
What? Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. Whatever.
I think.
Hey, what up, bros? How you doing, Josh? No, but that shit legit was the kind of the wild one to me. That one was actually okay. It was not as. That's when the downfall started happening for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
That's that's the season. I agree. That's when it kind of. But then again, that's still a good season too, man. It's okay, because like the Cuban guy like loves this shit. You know, he's like the district attorney. Like that's a good story. That's a pretty good storyline.
To kill.
It's when that chick from like the 90s, that chick. I mean, she popped back up.
I can't.
She was like in all these 90s movies.
Yeah, I don't think I can even remember.
Anyway, like that was. So like the last 3 seasons were pretty whatever. 2 seasons for sure.
Yeah, Deadwood,
but Breaking Bad's good.
You know, I have to finish Deadwood, however short it is. I started watching it because I didn't watch it for years because I was like, they never finished it. Like, that would just be frustrating. So I'd watch 3 seasons and they never finished it. That would just drive me crazy. But then they put out the movie. They made a movie last year. So Sarah and I were like, oh, we should finally sit through and watch Deadwood because there's a concluding movie. There's like a final chapter now. And then we made it to like almost the whole series. And then just like it just got away from us. We got to get back to that.
It's good. It's good.
Sarah says The Shield or The Sopranos. Ooh.
Sopranos.
I think
don't know.
Sopranos is actually like the better show, but The Shield is so trashy. It's so fucking trashy. Dan, I don't know if you've ever watched The Shield all the way through.
I've started
That's a
it.
journey, man. That's a journey, dude.
It's like 9 seasons, isn't it?
No, it's like 6 seasons, I think.
But I remember.
They're short too. They're like 10 or 12 episodes.
I don't know if you said it to me, but you said like that's a thing. Like that's an ordeal.
That
Like,
has
trying
the
to
best,
reveal.
one of the most satisfying conclusions to a series ever.
Really?
But it is like you got to watch it in context of like understand when it was made, because there's some cheesy stuff there, and it takes a while to get used to the guy who plays Vic Mackey. What's his name? The commish. Takes a
The
while.
guy from Breaking Bad?
No, he looks like the guy from Breaking Bad.
The guy from The Rock? He's like plays the Thing. I mean,
Yes,
in
Fantastic Four. Yeah, Chiklis,
Dickless?
Michael Chiklis.
Yeah, I always call him Dickless.
It takes a while to kind of like get used to him being like this fucking mean bulldog dude that's like so tough as nails. Nobody fucks with him. You're like, okay, but they sell it. They end up selling it.
I remember watching the first. I think it's The Shield, or is it The Wire? I'm thinking of. The Wire is a cop show too.
Yes, in Baltimore.
You know, I've never watched The Shield. I've seen The Wire. I've never watched Shield.
Luna Zuma wants to know Lex or Farscape. You know, sadly enough, I can actually answer this question. I'm going to go Farscape all the way. Lex is that Canadian, very low budget sci-fi show. I used to have a thing for the actress though, so I used to watch.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember
clips
Farscape used to be on TV when I was growing up, but so was it was like that show, Farscape, Highlander.
Fuck
Like
yeah.
sci-fi, like sci-fi.
Let's bring back the
right?
classics with this. I want to see revival of the Highlander series, dude.
I mean, why wouldn't they make a new Highlander though? I bet that's in the works.
No, there's
I bet
been a
it is.
movie in the works for like 10 years. Like with a new, like a reboot, not a
No,
sequel.
of course. Thank
But
God.
I feel like we should just make a sequel. Every movie that has like a protagonist that's like now an old man should just have a Logan ender. That's how I feel.
Super graphic and fucked up. Didn't
Yeah,
that guy
just
die?
totally
The guy that
brutal.
played Highlander's dead though.
No, I don't think
Isn't
so.
he dead? I
Oh,
think
what's
he's
his
dead,
name?
dude.
God damn it, what's his name?
He's got that great smirk. That fucking.
He's not a
weirdo,
great
dude.
actor.
He's horrible.
Plays
Mortal Kombat. Dude, he
Raiden,
plays
yeah.
fucking Raiden, bro. What is his name?
Christopher Lambert.
Yeah, dude, he's dead.
No, he's alive.
He's dead, Sean.
He's alive, dude. He's alive and well.
That's what you believe because you read it on the
He's
internet.
63 years old, dude. That's perfect. Come back one last time, Mr. Lambert.
Yeah, dude. I bet he would fuck it, but he's awful. I'll
Dude,
never
yeah, no,
forget-
but he's good in context of the things that he's casted appropriately for.
Test your mind. Hercules
Like,
or Cena?
Dude, like he's not good in Mortal Kombat, but he's also great in Mortal Kombat. Like he kind of makes the movie. It's perfect for that movie. Highlander, not bad. Like you go watch the original Highlander, he's fine.
No, he's okay. I haven't seen the original Highlander in probably.
Oh, dude, that's gonna
Few years.
get your fucking blood pumping, dude. That Queen song comes on.
Okay, Highlander or Mad Max?
Mad Max.
Okay. I haven't seen Mad
Oh,
Max.
yeah, no, because there's really only one good Highlander movie. It's really only the first one, but
So
the other ones-
Highlander. So you would choose Star Wars over Highlander then? Never get to see it.
Actually, can I have in Highlander? Do I get the show?
Get all Highlander related.
All Highlander related content. I'm going
All-
Highlander. I'm going Highlander.
Same thing with Star Wars. So.
I'm going Highlander.
Oh, what about Mad Max or Highlander?
Mad Max.
Yeah.
Zuma wants to know Hercules or Xena.
Dude,
Probably
this
go
is so fucking.
I'd probably go
Where do
Hercules.
You were pulling these out. This guy must fucking love this shit.
Well, have
He's watching this all the
I
time.
I actually watched like most of Hercules and Xena. Like I used to watch it when I was a kid when it was on TV. But
Yeah,
when
so I remember just thinking Xena was hot.
when Netflix streaming first was a thing, they had
Okay.
all the Hercules and Xena, and I remember specifically because I was like on one of those dating apps or whatever, or before dating apps, the dating website, and the girl, one of the girls that messaged me back was she's like, she started talking about watching Xena on Netflix, and I was like, oh, we're doing the same thing.
That's hilarious.
Didn't meet her though. She was a little too young. She was like 19. I was like 24. Probably could have. Probably it would have been okay. I just felt
Yeah.
weird about it, but
Best movie is Fury Road, according to Lumazuma.
incorrect. It's The Road Warrior. I just watched
Road
all of
Warrior
them.
used to be my favorite. I like Fury Road. I got to see it in the Alamo Draft House, so that was a
Yeah.
really cool experience.
Fury Road's awesome.
It's a good one, and it's all directed by the same guy, right?
Yeah, George Miller.
That's crazy.
Gonna be wasting my goddamn time with a Furiosa prequel that nobody gives a fuck about. This is another franchise. Perfect opportunity. Old man Mad Max.
Like Mel Gibson.
Come back, crazy beard and shit. His last adventure. If you go listen to the most recent Zoobox Goes to the Movies, my friend and I talked about Mad Max, the first movie mostly, but we also talked about kind of the broader franchise. I pitched why I think Mad Max has never had a complete arc as a character and what that arc would be.
Well, you gotta listen to it,
You're
guys.
gonna have to
You
go
guys
listen
check
to
it out.
that hot content.
I think they already did that movie, and it's called Bloodfather, whatever that fucking movie is.
Actually, I bought that for like $3 the other day.
I'm sure you fucking did.
I did.
Was it a Blu-ray or a 4K or whatever?
No, this is a Blu-ray.
Just a Blu-ray.
Bloodfather's not gonna be out in 4K. No way.
No way.
Should I bring Tenet down with me this weekend? You want to watch Tenet in 4K?
Yeah, I mean, I do have a 4K TV. Better than fucking streaming it, so yeah, you can bring that shit down.
And you also have a 4K player because you got your PS5.
Oh, I do. That is 4K, isn't it?
Yeah.
I forget, dude. All you fucking plebs are fucking PlayStation 4 and I feel so bad because I have like a PlayStation 4 Pro, just good to go.
I know. You got it
Just
all.
sitting. That's got it all, guys. I'm living the dream. I feel bad. Dude. I feel directed those pig movies.
Yeah, George Miller directed the Babe movies. Or actually, I think he produced the first one and directed the second one.
He directed Happy Feet.
And had 1 and 2.
What a fucking wild why. Do you think he just likes it's either like ultra violence or just ultra nice? Like there's no in between?
He's a weird guy where he's got like this entrepreneurial thing to him. Like when he made the first Mad Max, he kind of did it more as like an investment because there was like, Ozploitation was this kind of big thing. And so he's like, there's a chance if you make a movie, you could sell it to the United States, you can make some money. And he just basically took everything that was popular at the time in America and like fast cars, motorcycles, dystopia, like science fiction stuff.
Yeah, it's
violence,
all smashed into one. Yeah.
And he just smashed it all into a story. That's why, like, when you watch the original Mad Max, it's a very weird movie. It's not paced very well. It's kind of loose. It works in the context of the series. Like, so if you watch Mad Max and then go right into the Road Warrior, it makes you like Mad Max more. But
Dan is definitely not story driven. I agree. Definitely not story driven. I'm all over the place, dude. I can barely keep my hairline. It's a fucking tough line. If I can't keep my hairline in place, I can't keep my storyline good. Not my way it is. I've always liked the Mad Max. I think Road Warrior is actually, I always thought that was the first one when I was growing up. So that was because then it was Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
yeah, I didn't see the original Mad Max until way after I saw the Road Warrior. Most people.
I remember having the VHS fucking Road Warrior.
No, I
Or
think
was
we
it
had,
the-
the DVD.
the DVD?
That was back in the early days of DVD.
The paper flip. Like remember the paper boxes
Mm-hmm.
with the plastic clasp?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Those were the days, man. Some good times. All right, good night, Dan. Have a good night, man. Enjoy work tomorrow. I don't know. Anyway, what were you saying?
Nothing.
George, are you saying he's a profit-driven guy? Like he's fucking
Well, that's
always-
kind of where he came from.
Entrepreneur.
It seems like if you kind of look at his filmography, I guess you could probably maintain that sentiment. Maybe. I don't know.
I think
he
obviously
actually
with
has
Mad
not.
Max,
He hasn't directed a ton of movies. He's done like the Mad Max movies, The Witches of Eastwick, Babe, Pig in the City, both the Happy Feets, and then Fury Road.
That's a weird, yeah. So weird. And Witches of Eastwick was popular, right? That's with Cher.
Yeah, it did okay. So
And Nicolas
Jack
Cage,
Nicholson,
Jack Nicholson.
Susan
Yeah.
Sarandon, Michelle Pfeiffer, and it's only an okay movie. It's like okay.
Yeah, but for its time, it made money. Like it did. Like it seems like every movie he's made has at least made money.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know how well. Which I would have been very young. I would have been a year old when Witches of Eastwick came out.
Yeah.
What's the box office budget? 22 million. Opening, the gross 63 million. So I guess it probably would have been.
He says he was a doctor.
Yeah,
he's a doctor.
He was an emergency room doctor.
Wait, like in the film?
No.
Or like in real life?
In real life.
He's a fucking doctor, bro.
Yeah, he worked in the emergency room, and then he decided he was gonna make it. He did like some documentary shorts, and then he was like, I want to try this, and he did. Actually, the making of Mad Max is more interesting than the movie. Actually, a lot of wild stories, which you can all hear all about on the most recent episode of Zoobox Goes to the Movies.
Yeah, with the prophet himself. He said he only had 45 minutes, but you guys went like a half hour longer.
No, it was 45 minutes to take bread out of the oven.
Oh, I was wondering. I was like, man, she just gave him an order. You got 45 minutes. You hear me? I was like, yeah. Oh man, good times. I don't know. I think it's there's some no good movies coming out, cause like in the theaters, but hopefully these Wall Street bet guys saved AMC. But there's so Dune's coming out in HBO Max. I haven't watched that Judas one yet.
It's not out
Black
yet.
Judas movie.
It's not
It's out. It's on HBO.
It is right now.
Look today. I looked
Unless
today.
it came
HBO
out.
Max.
Unless it came out today.
I don't know. I
think
swear
that's just,
to God,
I think that's
saw
just
it
the
today.
trailer. No, it's coming. It's coming to HBO Max, but I think it's just a trailer.
I swear to God, bro. I don't know. I saw it. I saw it on like right next to the little things.
Yes, I think it's a
Was
trailer.
it there? Oh, well, that's coming soon.
Well, before we go on though, just because I know Dan is going to bed. Oh snap! I got one Toy Story series or Star Wars.
Oh, Toy Stories, bro.
Probably
Toy Stories.
Probably Toy Story.
Toy Story's fucking lit. I've never
Maybe.
seen Toy Story episode 4, whatever. 4.
It's okay. Pretty redundant. But no, yeah, I don't know.
You guys know how to bake bread? Make a video. There you go. It's content. Content is king.
Let me see. I will say this: out of all of the streaming services, HBO Max kind of works the worst.
Yeah, as far as it's, well, no, Disney Plus is pretty bad too. Disney Plus, and I think is actually worse.
Well,
vote.
I would say like the interface, like the way they set up. I'll put it on screen. The way they set this up is just like such a fucking mess.
It's a shit show, yeah.
I always
Did you see
always just go to down here. This is what I do. Scroll down. I go to these little HBO Max hubs. I go over there. Turner Classic Movies. Boom.
Yes, I do
Tons
that
of great
too.
movies on here.
Is it on there?
A lot of Criterion Collection stuff.
Did you
no, it's
see,
not. It's not there.
It's not up?
No, you saw a preview.
Watch it. Just because I haven't seen that new movie, the other really super like Black Lives Matter racist one. The about the guy, like his son, he's a Marine. His son gets shot by a cop.
Oh,
because he's black.
Little Axe. Is that what they're called? Like, yeah, it's a series. It's from a series of movies.
Yeah. Basically,
it's,
like
it's the guy who
take
the guy who directed Shame, and he directed 12 Years a Slave.
Hey, Shame is good though. And 12 Years a Slave is pretty good too.
Yeah, they're good movies. He's a good director.
I haven't seen that. Then maybe I should make it. Maybe we should watch it. I don't know.
I've been thinking. I've been meaning to watch them. I just been
It's like
watching other stuff.
$3.99 on fucking
No, it's
Amazon Prime.
then I guess we're talking about different movies then.
I'm talking about the movie where the fucking same actor.
Oh, you're talking about the guy from yeah, I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. No, I did not see that
the
one.
fucking other racist movie.
Yeah, it's not. I was talking about a different movie.
Oh, okay, never mind. Guys, I was like sitting there, I was like, what?
Yeah, there's like a
The
series.
same guy?
Yeah, well, there's a series of movies made by that other director.
Because I was gonna say like Shame doesn't feel racist at all. Like there's no race in anything.
No,
If anything, the movie is like ultra white supremacist. You see that guy's dick?
dude hangs dong,
Fucking dong, bro.
dong for days.
Dang dong, the witch is dead. Because it got fucked by a niner. That thing is fucking insane, dude.
Luma Zuma says Buckaroo Banzai. You know, honestly, I saw Buckaroo Banzai like one time 14 years ago. I have not seen it since, but I will write it down. I'll definitely revisit it. Why not? I love Peter Weller. I mean, he's awesome. He's RoboCop.
Jesus, I don't know how you have all the space in your head for all this shit sometimes.
'Cause it's like my hobby, you know? You got space for your hobbies?
I do. I have plenty of space. Plenty of space. Limited space. Like, my buddy's buying a house up in Nashville. It's like 420,000. It's like only a couple hundred square feet bigger than mine. I'm like, holy fuck.
What a simp.
What a sim.
Not really a great time to buy. Huh?
You know what? I got one. The first, what is that fucking movie? Fraggle Rock?
It's a
Fraggles?
show. It's a show.
No, what the fuck is the
Meet the
movie by
Feebles?
Meet the Feebles.
Peter Jackson's Meet the
Yes.
Feebles? Or
Yes,
Star
that's
Wars? Meet the Feebles.
Yes. That's a good one. That's a good one.
It's like basically a dirty, filthy puppet movie. It's like making fun of, kind of making fun of the Muppet Show, because it's like all these Muppets have like a variety hour that they put on.
But they're all degenerates behind the scenes.
Yeah,
and
they're all
shit, like
they're all
the
just like doing
druggies.
heroin and
Yeah.
making
Yes.
pornos. I watched that. There was one that came out. What the hell was that one? What the hell is it called?
What?
There's like a puppet, like a dirty puppet movie that came out a couple years ago with what's her name?
You talk about the overweight chick?
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Is it good?
it's okay. It's entertaining.
It's okay.
It has its moments. Like give it one watch. Never watch it again, but it's worth a watch.
She had that new movie come out, AI.
Or the one that's on HBO Max.
Trash, bro.
Yeah, I don't watch that
It is
stuff.
so bad, but you have to watch it because it's that bad. It's that bad, honestly. I was watching it going, what the fuck, man? Why would you make this fucking movie? Like, who would come up with an idea? And to have the AI star, it's like, what's his fucking name from the late night show? The British guy.
James Corden.
Yeah, he's the fucking AI voice. It is so annoying. The whole fucking thing is annoying. The whole movie's stupid.
James Corden
Like,
got
it's
nominated.
dumb.
You're talking to Golden Globe nominated James Corden, Daniel.
Dude.
You know who else got nominated? Sacha Baron Cohen.
For what? For Borat?
Is it for Borat? I think it might have been. I think he might have got nominated twice.
I have a question. Did the Comey Rule get nominated?
Actually, I did not see it. I didn't see it there.
It's such a trash movie.
The craziest
you know-
snub. I mean, the Golden Globes don't really matter. They don't.
Yeah.
They're because it's the Hollywood Foreign Press. It's like whatever. But like the guy, they actually snubbed somebody though that I thought was like a real snub was Delroy Lindo in that The Five Bloods, the new Spike Lee movie.
Oh, yeah.
The movie itself is okay, but he is phenomenal in it. Like
Is that
he
the
is
Trump
incredible.
supporter dude?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
crazy good in it, and he gives the performance of like his career. It's very powerful, and he got
he
snubbed.
does-
I was like, what the fuck? Like if that guy can't get an award during a pandemic year when nothing comes out, nobody can. Now maybe I'm
know
thinking to
what?
myself, I'm like racist.
Yeah. Not
Racist.
equitable.
Give fucking
wanted-
James Corden for some stupid Netflix movie nobody watched. I didn't watch The Prom.
I honestly only watched like the first little bit of it.
You even started it? I didn't even start it.
What do you mean?
I didn't even press play on The Prom. I just kept scrolling.
The Prom?
That's what James Corden got nominated for.
No, I'm saying The Five Bloods.
Oh, The Five Bloods. Oh, you got to finish.
Yeah,
It's worth finishing.
I got in there a little bit. You know, it's okay.
It's
I just,
it's
you
worth
know,
finishing. It's
I'm sick of racists making movies telling me I'm racist. That's like what I'm sick of.
I don't
Like,
think
honestly,
it's
it's
not
like,
really.
it's annoying.
I would not suggest that movie is really what that's
No,
about.
no. You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm talking about the person making a movie saying everything is racist, and then like making movies. Like it's like
You don't want to
craziest
support
thing.
Spike Lee. Is what you're saying.
Well, it's annoying. It's like anytime I fucking sit down to watch a movie,
Did-
it's either I'm gonna get lectured to.
This
I'm
motherfucker
gonna
over
this
here
and
a
that.
couple
It's like,
years ago.
fuck.
A couple years ago, this motherfucker is over here telling me to watch this movie. Was it Thank You for something? Thank you for your consideration. The Boots Riley movie
The who?
with Lakeith Stanfield.
Sorry
to bother you. Sorry to bother you.
Oh yeah. That movie is fucking out there.
Yeah, it's a fucking commie screed.
Yeah, but it's like
It's
entertaining.
made by a guy. You think like Spike Lee is bad?
Yeah.
That dude is bad.
Yeah, but at least it's tastefully done.
That movie sucked. Oh my god, it was like reading a fucking sociology 101. Like this clearly just
I thought it was fun.
commie
I thought it was
bullshit. Where they're just like, oh yeah, basically saying like they hate this guy because he works hard and he moves up in the company. And he's like, it's like okay.
That doesn't like the concept is bad. I'm not saying the movie was ever like a good. I thought it was fun though. I thought it was like fun, like and weird.
Communist
and zany.
confirmed. He's probably likes. Yeah, it's wacky.
It's like fun.
Yeah, sure, it's wacky.
It's like fun. It's like this cool, like stylized It's all bullshit, but you can sit there and go like, at least it's stylized. Like I was like, okay, they're giving me my racism in a style. You know, I'm like, if you're gonna pander to me and call me like racist and like capitalism is bad. Well, it is racist because it's saying the white voice. Like, you got to put on your white voice, guys.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
sure.
Like, it's to say that black men can't use their real voices. You know, we all get it. It's just fucking stereotypical bullshit. But that's why, like, Spike Lee, I will listen to him in an interview, and it is so frustrating, dude. It's so frustrating.
Well, I think you could say that about 90% of filmmakers, especially politically motivated filmmakers.
But that's the thing is, it's like, but how can everything be politically motivated, bro? How?
Well, because they tell explicitly stories about, political stories.
It's like Oliver Stone. A lot of political movies he makes. Like, those movies about politics and stories about the people involved.
Yeah, they're not really. I wouldn't say they're political though. They use like he looks at political figures.
Well, he doesn't
sometimes.
like conservatives. He
doesn't like anybody. I don't know who the fuck he likes. Oliver Stone is a hard dude to get you like.
He liked JFK.
Tamped in, like yeah, because I grew up watching JFK, but JFK is a crazy movie.
No, I'm saying, but he liked JFK. I bet.
He liked JFK. I don't know if he did actually. I have no idea.
You know why he was killed?
Like, it's so weird, like, because he has, like, and he also has, like, a documentary series on Showtime a couple years ago, the alternate history of the United States, and so he's, like, very anti, like, the colonialist, like, kind of interpretation of the United States in terms of, like, he thinks that we go over there and nation build and stuff, a lot of things that are true. Around the world, kind of being our what do you call it, not a dynasty, I guess the American dynasty, how we spread it across the world and for dominance. And but then he goes and makes
the name of spreading democracy we kill.
Yeah, but then he goes and makes something like World Trade Center, which is like very like
maybe that's like the ultra introspective though.
Jingoistic in a weird way.
It's like he's sitting there like confronting himself.
Maybe.
This is a battle. Like it's starring Nicolas Cage. I've never even seen it.
I saw it when it came out. I don't remember it really. It didn't leave much of an impression. That was when he was putting out. He put Alexander out, and he kept putting it out. He put out like 4 cuts. He's like, "Listen, I'm gonna get this movie right, guys. Just give me another chance. Just give me a chance." Luma Zuma says, "Is putting glass in asphalt good?" If that's a reference, I don't. That's the first time you got me. I don't know. Unless you're speaking of something actual, real and specific, then I still don't know. Happy Time Murders. Happy Time Murders is the dirty puppet movie.
The new one?
Yeah, the newer one.
I haven't seen it, dude. I'm kind of against anything that's not like good. That's it. That's what I'm gonna say.
Anything
like I hate wasting my time on shit, dude. Sometimes like I'll watch The Mandalorian because there's nothing else.
Listen, there is a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of good stuff out there you've never seen.
I know, but the thing is, you can't rock the boat.
You just want to watch it. And that's okay. If you can't admit that to yourself, you're like, I really would like to watch.
I want to watch something that like gives me that feeling, that feeling, like the first time you watch Memento.
It's like I watched the fucking
like Discovery.
I'm like mildly ashamed, but I caught up with WandaVision. I did.
It's okay. I don't know why people are hating on it, honestly.
Are people hating on it? People seem to really like it.
pissed.
I think it's the concept is cool, and you're like, oh, what's going on? It's the mystery, and it's like I thought, like especially the first two episodes, they really nail like the aesthetic of what they're doing.
They did so good. And it
but
felt like I Love Lucy.
But there is nothing to the story itself. It's kind of just like it's gonna be just more dumb Marvel shit. But aesthetically and as an experiment, it's cool. Like I don't mind it.
I wasn't mad at it.
It's the first Marvel thing I've actually like enjoyed in a long time. So
Marvel has a low bar for me. So
yeah, me too.
It's like you know, like I don't really care. I know I'm gonna end up not caring eventually, but I was sitting there, I was like, well, it's on there, I might as well check it out. So I did, and it's okay. It's okay. Not gonna blow your socks off, in my opinion.
What?
WandaVision.
WandaVision?
That's fine. It's entertaining.
No.
It's entertaining.
And you also have to have seen everything else.
Yes. Because then it makes
would not make sense.
That's what they're banking on. I guess this is supposed to lead into the new Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, yeah.
But I just want that sense of discovery again. Like, there's nothing better than the first time you sit down and watch a movie that you don't know is going to be good.
Sure.
Like those surprise. Like, dude, the first time I popped in, There Will Be Blood. No idea what it was. Not a fucking clue. I'll never forget. I had not a fucking sense in the world.
Yeah, but that's why you gotta be more adventurous in your movie watching.
Sean, don't fucking push me around.
Dude, I'll just go to Amazon Prime and I'll be like, oh, I recognize that actor. I've never heard of this before.
Well, that's how I saw Virtuosity. That's what I did.
Yeah.
I dived right in. Okay, I do it. I do these things.
You got to do it more, I guess. You got to go out there more.
I do. I'm getting really, like I said, I've been watching a lot of older movies I haven't seen, like with obscure.
You want to watch a fucking good movie?
What?
Okay. I think they just put it back on HBO Max. Unforgiven. You want to just watch like a good movie?
Talking about the Western?
Yeah, with Clint Eastwood. If you've never seen it,
I think Ryan and I watched that recently, actually.
I know you guys were watching Clint.
We were watching a bunch of Clint.
But if you had just watched a bunch of old ones, that'd be the perfect time to watch Unforgiven.
Okay. I've been watching a lot of just random stuff. It's been hard, man. I've been trying to find that. I need that show. And
I don't do shows anymore. I don't like it. Too much of an investment, dude. I'll do the true crime miniseries. That's about as deep as because I can knock them off in a night.
I know. I've been looking for a show, dude.
Well, Babylon 5 is now on HBO Max.
Explain Cobra Kai, Dan. Well, hey, I got lost. I just like the concept that they actually kind of make fun of the original conspiracy theory. Like, I thought that was fun.
Fun enough? Didn't you just watch like 70 hours of it?
Listen, there's like 20-minute episodes. They're like 20 minutes.
Are they?
Yeah, they're super short. They're like 20, 23 minutes. And there's like 8 episodes a season. 10. When Scotty came down, when he was driving through, we watched it in like 3 hours. 10 episodes. 3.5, whatever it was.
Nice.
We ordered food and we hung out and fucking did it, Which, when you guys come down, might have to organize my place differently. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. Because now we got to do VR, dude. But we can't get the adapter, dude.
Yeah, we have to use your PS4 Pro.
Yep. It's fucking bullshit, guys. That's so fucking dumb. Why would they do this?
Honestly, I was going because they were giving them out for free. I just
Where?
did. No, I guess maybe I missed the window. I don't know.
I did it. I put the fucking your serial number and everything in.
Yeah.
And they have never hit me back. I'm very offended. Sony owes me a fucking thing.
Oh, then it might just show up at your house one day then. I don't know.
I didn't put my address in it or anything, I don't think.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know how it works.
It's fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. That's what it is.
It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to make a difference.
Well, like, dude, people ain't getting I'm going to tell you right now, dude. They're projecting. If you want a PlayStation 5, you ain't getting it till... They're saying mid-year 2021.
Probably, yeah.
Like, because AMD is having a shortage of everything.
Well, that and anytime it gets stocked anywhere, scalpers grab them. People just buy them.
Yeah, but that's only going to work for so long. You can only have so much unless they
Still working. Because it's all about the short sell, man. It's all about like getting it and then
He said
turning it
this.
around
He
quick.
did this.
What?
Loomis almost said Marvel's kicking DC's butt.
Oh yeah, wait until you see the cinematic event of the year, my friend. It's called the Snyder Cut. I'm looking forward to it. I don't care.
If you're talking about sheer volume,
Yeah.
well, yeah. But Marvel's fucking the same formula repeated over and over again, and it's junk.
Yeah, I've said this for years. I would rather watch interesting failures than mediocre movies. But I don't really disparage people.
What, you're gonna tell me the Dark Knight movies, dude?
No, well,
Dark Knight?
yeah, I think they're talking.
Talking about universe?
They're talking about specifically the modern stuff.
Like, so DC universe, like with like
the DCEU versus
Wonder Woman was okay. Wonder Woman 84 fucking sucked.
was a masterpiece.
Was fucking garbage. That is one of the worst.
A masterpiece.
That movie is awful, dude. It's
a masterpiece of shit.
I couldn't believe when I put it on. I was like, I knew they were gonna fuck it up. They gotta fucking put this woke shit in there. Like, just leave it alone, dude. We gotta fucking have the capitalist fucking pig. He can never have enough. You never have enough, and he's got to make wishes.
Dude, he becomes a dreamstone, Dan. It's no joke.
He becomes the stone itself. Like, why couldn't you just wish the shit away from you? Or,
hey,
like,
but
have
dude,
them wish,
I am not somebody that like completely hates all. Because, like, to be fair, my preference is like Batman.
Marvel series or Star Wars, Sean? All of the Marvel movies are Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah, I would even actually agree with you because that's how trash.
I don't hate, like, the thing is, like, I don't necessarily like hate them. I just don't understand why people are so sycophantic about them, because it's like the same movie over and over again. And like, but I'll say this: they're
fun movies.
They're super well cast.
Yes.
I think those Avengers movies, which are usually like the better of the movies, are able to balance those giant casts. Like in a way where everybody gets a moment, everybody feels cohesive. It does feel like it's part of a world. There's a lot of things I could say that I like appreciate or respect about those.
Okay, I can respect it, but also I don't have to.
But I just don't.
I want America.
I just feel like I've seen them. Like once you've made it 10 movies in, like you gotta do something different. And I don't think there is anything they can do different. So when it comes to like Marvel people, they just get excited. Like, oh, it's my favorite superhero on screen.
What's the one hero that you wish you could see? That they haven't seen, like, in any of the DC or anything.
Oh, I have no idea.
Which one would you be fucking happy to see?
I want somebody to bring back the Shadow. Okay,
honestly,
that's not DC,
like a real fucking one. What up, Josh?
I don't.
Well, like, what would be one thing that you could say, like, because we got Carnivore, whatever his fucking
Carnivore.
Carnage. Carnage. That's his fucking name, dude. Carnage is coming up in the new Venom movie.
I don't know, man. Like,
Venom was probably a big one for you.
No, I don't like Venom.
Well, for Sarah, it was.
Well, just because of for very shallow Venom fandom reasons. She just likes Venom, so.
I mean, so you don't, and not everything has to be deep.
No, and that's what I said. Like, everybody gets juiced. Like, oh, it's my favorite superhero. So when I watch the DC,
you don't have one that you get jazzed to see about.
I'm just about to explain. When I watch the DC movies, DC is my preference. Like, that is what I grew up reading.
Yeah, that's why you fucking suck.
I would much rather watch a Batman, like a Batman movie, than watch like a fucking Spider-Man movie. I just would.
Okay.
But although at the same, that's not necessarily true, because you know what, Sam Raimi Spider-Man fucking rules. Okay.
It's okay. It's pretty good.
I liked it when they were just like their own thing. Like the X-Men movies, there's some of those that are really good. Some of them are really good. But in the modern era for the DCEU, yeah, I'd rather watch Batman or Superman. I just would. That's just my preference. And then watching Zack Snyder kind of bro dude his way through it, like he's trying to be deep, but he comes off like such a beefcake. It's just so like such a bro dude with it. And he explains everything out. Like, there's no real subtext or anything. He has a lot of the same problems all the other movies I don't like have. But at least he tries. At least he tries to do something fucking big and weird and different. And they do feel different. Even when they're totally unwieldy.
There's definitely a lot of things that feel more original. With the exception of Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was a commercial product. Like a true commercial. Like, built on the success of Marvel in ways. You could definitely feel that.
Yeah, because when Snyder's vision was not really the society did not like grab hold of it and make them $1 billion movies. They were just like, oh, we gotta readjust. These gotta be fun. They gotta be light. They can't be too dark. They can't be too serious.
But there's something to say like Guardians of the Galaxy are enjoyable. I actually like the first Guardians of the Galaxy like quite a bit.
Yeah, I like the Guardians movies. All
Like,
right.
that's a fun movie. Those are fun. There's only 2 of them, right? There's
Yeah.
not a third one yet.
No.
There will be. Those are enjoyable. Deadpool, fun. Those are good movies. That's a good movie. The first one, especially.
Well, those aren't really part of the Marvel universe, I guess. Not until recently.
I know, but that's what makes them different. You know, like that is what makes them different because it just separates them. But it's fun. Like those are good movies. There's no denying it.
No, they're fun
Like,
movies.
they're
Yeah.
fun.
I enjoy them.
You know,
I enjoy
Or
them
the
for what they
Joker-
are.
Or the Wolverine, like not anything to do with MCU.
No, but those we're talking about the Fox unit back when Fox was not owned by Disney. Yeah, they were their own thing. I liked a lot of them. I like
Is there
X2. I like fucking Days of Future Past.
Days of Future, I didn't like it. I didn't like really any of them, honestly. My only one I did like is the Phoenix. What? Dark Phoenix.
X2.
No, Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
The new one, dude.
I
Sick.
have that too, dude. I got them all. The whole
Why?
set.
What is wrong? You have a fucking issue.
Because like, why? What am I supposed to do?
You have
Only own
so-
4 of them?
I need
I need
all
to see
of
them all on the shelf.
It's like, what are you gonna do when they come up with AK? Like, what are you gonna do with yourself, dude?
When they come out with 8K.
Because it's coming.
Well, the human eye can only perceive up to like what 6K or something.
Oh yeah, okay,
But-
like that's gonna stop.
No,
you.
of course.
Well,
At some
but-
point,
but
I'm gonna upgrade. Why wouldn't I?
And you're gonna have to. Like, how many times have you bought? Like, what's the most movie you've bought?
The most
Yeah, like
amount
the
of times.
movie that you've had to buy the most because you got every version from VHS.
That's a lot of movies, actually.
Like, yeah, but which one? Okay, name a couple. Like that you have basically got every iteration.
The Fifth Element.
Okay.
The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing.
Okay.
Aliens. Specifically, Aliens.
Mm-hmm. Probably some Stanley Kubrick.
Predator, The Shining.
Predator.
I think A Clockwork Orange, probably. There's so many. I mean, there's a lot that I've owned from VHS and like rebought twice. Maybe a 4th time. Give me time. 4Ks, you know.
You gotta stay away, dude.
I know.
You gotta-
I stopped buying 4Ks of movies I already own because I was just like, I'll just do this forever. Like, unless it's like a really specifically like
awesome.
good movie that I'm just like, no. A lot of older movies I get stoked. So if the movie came out from like the 50s, 60s, or 70s and it's on 4K, I'm like, fuck yeah.
Oh, that's because now you have a historical record. That's what you're basically. Have you ever seen The Professor and the Madman? Mel Gibson?
Yes, I have with Sean Penn.
You're Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
And you're just
Collecting
creating, like, a
words,
dictionary.
dude.
Yeah, it's like collecting words.
Dude,
I have never seen it, but
I've
I watched
talked
the
to-
trailer and it's like,
Oh,
Jesus.
it was okay. It was all right.
Yeah, I heard it's okay.
I am part of like these movie collecting Facebook groups and stuff, dude. I'm a joke. I'm small potatoes, dude.
Oh, I bet they have it's insane.
People have looks like they have rooms in their houses dedicated just to their like media libraries. It's crazy.
What's the most you've ever seen on one person having?
20,000, probably more than that. I don't know, a lot.
20,000?
Just like fucking walls of Blu-rays and DVDs, and
Probably got like $1 million worth of stuff.
you gotta watch out, man, because sometimes these things they don't move over to the next format. You might have to hold on to that Betamax tape. Some soldiers out there, they throw these movies up on they put them up on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a movie the other day called Natural Enemies. Never made it past VHS, but some put it up on YouTube because nobody's looking for the copyright for that. It's not fucking available. Like you literally cannot watch the movie unless somebody put it on YouTube. I tried to find a torrent, one torrent,
Nothing.
no seeds, and then I was just like, you know what? I gotta remember, you could check YouTube. Type it into YouTube, it was there. I was like, oh, fucking rad.
I mean, it is gonna be pretty how much stuff we've lost to time.
A lot.
But now that things are digital, you could also argue that they're there forever.
You gotta have people like that are willing to, like, that's what the Internet Archive is supposed to be for. Like,
But I get. You don't think it's anywhere? I wonder.
no, that's what I'm
Well,
saying. No, like, a lot of people will take just random shit. If you go to the Internet Archive, it's a website. Like, there's tons of fucking just random shit because people put up like commercials, like all sorts of stuff. Like,
Really?
they're trying to get as much on there as humanly possible.
So like anyone can go there and just upload
Yeah,
to the Internet Archive?
Yes, I think you gotta like make an account or whatever. It's kind of like run like almost like Wikipedia, where it's like crowdsourced type stuff.
Yeah.
Let me see. Limousine wants to know, why is it Marvel versus DC? Wasn't there a third? Actually, I don't know if there's. I mean, there's a lot of other Image Comics, and then Marvel and DC own like subsidiary companies like Vertigo, stuff like that. But
Literally Blade Runner.
I don't know what she's talking. Oh, literally Blade Runner in terms of archiving stuff, maybe. Sure.
Well, I wonder if the original Star Wars cuts are on there.
I think they are in the National Congress or whatever. Or what is it called? National Library? With like arts and science and film arts.
Like
and
the
science.
original cut?
I think so. I think it's the negative.
That should be the new
The National Film
Treasure.
Registry. That's what it
That
is.
should be the new National Treasure with Nick Cage.
Go get the original cuts. Give it to the people. Belongs to the people.
And like, get him, Lucas.
Oh,
if you guys
oh.
get the reference, that is such a good movie. I actually had to watch that movie at one point. No bullshit.
What? The
Jodie Foster movie.
The Accused?
Yeah, I had to watch it in the military.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, they showed us like, this is a rape scene.
It's a pretty brutal rape scene, actually.
It is like super like, what
pretty
would you
intense.
have said anything? And you're like,
No,
no, I would have joined in. What are you talking about? Oh, I don't know. You know, he's like, you're just 18, 19, whatever. He's just like, yeah, I would stop.
Yeah, that's
them,
the
you know?
only answer you should give. Is like, yes, of
Yeah,
course. In fact,
it's
I would
like-
have fought in them all.
But like, what's on the line? What do I gotta do? Do I have to negotiate? Do I have a gun?
Can I talk my
You
way
know?
out of the situation? Can I talk
Well, I
these
mean,
boys
okay,
down?
like if you got a group of men ravaging, and then like you have nothing to, like, you know, you don't got a gun, I might just be better off just two people don't need to die. You know? I'm kidding. That's terrible. That's all. Yeah, we had to watch that in the military, so that makes me always laugh. And one of those don't rape people courses. So don't do it. That's what they say. It's bad.
Rape is bad.
Rape is
Jodie
bad.
Foster here, not having a good time at all.
Dude, that shit was wild, man. Like, it is a wild scene, though. It's like, is that really what fucking happened back in the day, you think?
What?
Because now I can't fucking do anything.
Man, can't even do what they did in The Accused anymore.
Dude, fuck it, man. I have no idea. But, alright, man. Well, I'm gonna I gotta go.
Yeah,
I'm
me
gonna
too.
go to bed.
4 hours.
It's
All right,
yeah.
everybody. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mazuma. Hope you subscribed. I don't know if I've never seen you on the chat before. Joshua, Dan, Sarah. Good hanging out.
Everybody, good night.
I'll be back Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, we gotta figure out what we're doing this weekend.
Yeah, we do gotta figure it out.
All right, everybody. Goodbye.